Yo.
Back at it again. Deep in the Huddle with you guys next to Massiah, Season 1.
Episode 12.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What a weekend, man.
What a weekend.
What a weekend of games.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it ramping up and what these games, you know, we're getting to the tail end, divisional rivals and, you know, all the different playoff stuff and what's going down. Woo. Ooh, it just when you think you got this league figured out.
Nah.
Boy, they flip. Boy, it just kind of flips on its head. Boy, I tell you, it was something else. Besides that, though,
Yeah.
still ain't got away from that Madden Ultimate Team, have you?
Not even close. me and Madden spending more time together than me and my wife, pretty much.
Oh man, keeping your hooks, keeping I knew when I saw them cards drop, I was like, oh yeah.
And it's gonna get worse because you know there's still like 7 more days to Christmas. And they run that zero chill promo to Christmas.
Yeah, that's snow, baby.
Yeah,
that's snow,
and it's also worse, right? Because when I start cursing at the game, because you know me, I curse sometimes when I'm playing the game.
Yeah, we don't do it here.
We'll have to tell that story one day about the day that you beat me in NBA 2K back in the grip on the first Xbox. We'll have to tell that story about how furniture broke. But anyhow, yeah.
Well, we can talk about the Madden and the never mind.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
one other day.
So that right, and then my son, his name is Madden, and that's the reason why I named him because I'm going to play that game for so long, right? Like, I mean, I had to name him Madden, right? Like, and then worse yet, right? Like, I find out, like, I don't know, a couple years after he was born that him and John Madden have the same exact birthday. So it was like, I guess it was meant to be, right?
Meant to be,
so,
right?
But apart from that, I mean, like, it's just, it's a grind, and EA's out here trying to make sure you dip in your wallet, and I'm like, nope,
no,
not happening. But forget about Madden football. We ain't talking about virtual football.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's talk about. Hold on. Let's talk about fantasy football. What's going on in them leagues you got going on, bro? I'm hearing you didn't make it to the championship. What's going on, brother?
Well, I'm in the championship in one league.
Right.
I play 4 leagues. I play 4 leagues a year.
Yeah. You about to
in the
dial that
championship
down,
in
though,
one.
bro. You busy?
Yeah, I play. You know, one league I'm there. Other league. Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
Tell you. So conference.
Hey, look, before you start, right? Let me tell you what. I understand exactly what that pressure is. So
let me tell you what we're in the conference championship round. All right, we're in the conference championship round. No problems. And it's an IDP league. Right? So we have independent defensive players as well. All right.
Correct.
Okay. Now, mind you, my score would have beat anybody in the other conference championship round, to be clear. All right. I would have beat them.
But you weren't.
No, I wasn't in them. I wasn't playing.
So.
Yeah, I wasn't playing them. I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing Reezy or Jackson. Okay, I wasn't playing Reezy or Jackson. I was playing one Mark Cox, Detroit Lions president fan.
Yeah.
And you know, I just had certain things not happen for me. It was. I just Mike Vrabel, I want to have a discussion with him because I drafted this kid and then, you know, I know what he did last week in Henry, and I was like, he's probably not going to run him again. You know, hey, the Patriot way. Oh, you had a big game last week. We're not going to play you this week, and that pretty much cost me. But
I told you though, in between the last recording and this recording, you know how they do. They're going to use that. They're going to dangle that kid as trade bait. They already got Lewis.
So I didn't.
So they're going to let him audition for other teams. Let's see what we get.
I just didn't. Man, whatever. Okay. That's where I'm at with that is a whole bunch of whatever. So
So you're out.
man.
And now Jackson and Reese are playing for the championship.
No. Mark. Yeah, Mark and Reese.
And Reese are playing for the championship.
Mark and Reese are headed to the championship.
Yeah. That's that. Hey, man. That's why it's called fantasy.
It sure is, man. Just trying to get that back to back on them.
Mm-hmm.
I came up short. I was 11-2, number 1 seed, and Philip Lindsay let me down with that 5.5. Didn't get me there. Patrick Mahomes didn't quite do what he normally does. I mean, he still did okay. I mean, I was going against Winston. I mean, he definitely beat Winston. Mm-hmm. Basically, it boils down to me. I take the blame as the GM. If I played Coleman from Atlanta, or if I would have played Henry from Tennessee, I win the game. I mean, I lost 167 to 154. Plain and simple.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, man.
What did Marcus Lawrence say before he got to the Saints?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just looked at it. Here's the thing, right? So it really came down. I was up going into Monday night. Okay. He had 3 players. All right. I had 2 players. For me, I had Michael Thomas from the Saints, wide receiver. Yeah. And I had Thomas Davis, linebacker, for Carolina.
Handcuffed.
Well, let's get to that. But so he had, on his side, he had Kamara. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. He had Eli Apple. Mm-hmm. And he had
playing like he just got drafted.
Oh, my God. Imagine that, right? So, the worst thing ever, I'm still winning in the first half. I'm like, okay, Thomas ain't went off yet. Okay. Every time he gets a catch, it's a penalty, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then right before the end of the first half, what does Cam do? Throw the interception, and who gets it? Eli mother effing Apple. Wow. I'm like,
I know it hurt.
Oh my God. Did Eli Apple at the end of the half get this interception? Yes, he did. Yep. I was like, no. Mm-hmm. I was so like, no. Mm-hmm. And at that particular moment is exactly whenever he went up by about 2 points, I think, at that time. Mm-hmm. And he never looked back.
Them Ohio State boys over there in that New Orleans secondary, boy, playing like they world beaters.
My goodness. I was just like,
yeah.
Hey. My goodness.
Yeah, I heard the news from various sources, and I said, what do you mean?
My goodness.
I figured I could ask you. I mean, since you're so busy with your day job. Yeah,
man, it was, like I said, man, just, hey, we know what it is, man, when you get these playoffs. Mm-hmm. One wrong little move there, like I said, if I don't play with Lindsey, I'll be good. I mean, on the other side, I think Reese won like 124 to 117 over Jackson, mm-hmm. And, I lost I think it's 167 to 158 or something like that.
So you took an L. Mm.
Yeah.
Big one. Yeah. About to be in the dance.
Man, can't complain, man. Hey.
Oh, well.
I mean, won last year, got close this year. I just, didn't play it on my favor. I was big on, actually, like every single one of my leagues, I drafted Derrick Henry. Started him early, was getting effed, so I sat him, and then late, should have went with the gut and didn't.
Oh, well.
Such are facts. But enough about that fantasy football.
Yep.
And also, good luck to Mark and good luck to Reezy. Actually, funny thing about Reezy is he's been in the league in the particular league that we play in, he's been in the league for a few years now. Mm-hmm. The only guy to ever go undefeated in the league. And he did it with a rookie quarterback the year he came in, which was with Cam Newton. Wow. Ran the table.
Nasty stat right there.
Yeah, ran the table. Went undefeated, and he had old Cam at the helm, the rookie, the whole way through.
Nice.
So yeah, shout out to Reezy. Good luck. I don't think he's won one since then. So hey, go out there and do your thing, Reezy. Try to come catch me. I think I got about 5 or 6 in this thing, so can't complain too much. But yeah, that boy Reezy, undefeated, can always tote that one. No ifs, ands, or buts. Boy, and look, while we was getting down to the nitty gritty, not to get too far off track, we was like, oh my God, Reezy's gonna come in as a rookie and go undefeated. No way. And man, yeah, he pulled it off, man.
Wow.
Hell of a pick with Cam.
Wow, I never heard that story. That's a good one.
Yeah, hell of a pick with Cam. I mean, man, if you go back to look at Cam's rookie numbers, man, I mean, he's 4,000 yards. I mean, he was breaking all kinds of records. I mean, him and Steve Smith was just something magical that year to tie it to real football. And, yeah, man, had the foresight. He didn't start him early, but once Cam got on that roll and he got him in that lineup, hey, man, Reezy was dolo in that league, man. You couldn't touch him, man. He was on fire.
Gosh. That must be crazy.
Well, let's get to these Saturday scores, man. Enough about the fantasy football. Hey, for all you guys that are in the Super Bowl this week, good luck. I'm in one at least. Been trying to win this Houston hardcore league that I'm in with Marcus Wilson for a while. I've came close and been left at the altar, so maybe I can get it done this year there.
Shout out to Marcus, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Texans go to New Jersey, beat them Jets 29-22, and slide into the number 2 slot. Big deal there. We'll kind of get to the game that got them there, that team that took L to get them there, but they can win out. They hold steadfast at the number 2 slot, get that first round bye. It's a little bit of home field advantage divisional round. And then how about them Browns? Man, I've won a lot. I got to be honest with you now. I've won some money this year off this because a lot of people didn't believe in the Browns. Caught a lot of flack in this preseason about them. And I told people, I'm like, hey, they're going to be pretty good. Look at the roster.
And before we recorded the first podcast, what were the phone conversations we were having?
Oh, yeah.
It was like, dude,
hey,
they got the
down,
most.
right?
They had the deadliest receiver core in the league with Josh Gordon. The deadliest.
It was just a little bit worried about that offensive line, but they've kind of turned it around once they got the coaching situation situated.
Yep.
They beat the Broncos 17-16 to get to 6-7-1, and again, we go back and look at those first 4 or 5 games.
Yep.
Hey, easily.
Yep.
Could be in first place in this division right now.
Easy.
And
without a tie.
Right, and without a tie, absolutely. And the funny thing about this is, obviously they moved on from Flash, but they did bring in a former first-round pick who had a pretty good game this game. Brashad Perriman.
Yep.
Did pretty good.
Yep.
Did pretty good.
Yeah, after being nicked up in Baltimore there.
Yeah. So, good for them. See what they're going to do going forward. Broncos, tough hell. They got past through. Yeah, well, it's just weird, man. You beat the Chargers, right? You beat Steelers.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Niners and Browns. You get to that part where you can really run off. But, we talked about this before they got to playing the Niners, and we said, man, you lost Cliff Harris.
Yep.
You lose Emmanuel Sanders.
Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Just tough on both sides.
Yep.
Never mind the fact the whole thing now. I mean, who leaked this? Let me ask you this. Who you think leaked this about John Elway and Shanahan with the secret meeting stuff?
Someone very close to John Elway.
Fair enough. Or somebody on that board that's looking to maybe,
I don't know, man.
undo.
It was Woody Page. And Woody Page is very over the top sometimes, man. He's connected, but he's very dramatic.
Connected, but no doubt. But some things they handled there. But on to the Sunday games.
Yeah. Let's get there.
Cardinals, Falcons. Cardinals early. Falcons said Deion Jones, welcome back from injury, pick 6, and then it was snowball from there, 40-14 for the Falcons.
Yeah.
They get to 5-9. Cardinals 3-11.
Yep.
Teams headed for some top 10 pick skis. Yep. Maybe top 5 for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Mike, only thing I want to point out, Mike Glennon did get into the game.
Yep.
10-14, 111 and a touchdown. Maybe a little bit of mop-up duty, whatnot, but, he got in. I just thought that was interesting, after he disappeared off the map for a while, He's just one of those guys.
Got that big money for the Bears.
Right. He's just one of those guys. I think he's a solid backup in the league. And that's that. Tevin Coleman, which I could have started in one of my fantasy league. This could be a thing. It's a thing. 11 carries for 145 yards and a touchdown. Oh, God.
I can see your molars.
Who pressed his buzzard? Oh, man. Julio Jones got a little nicked up, by the way. Yeah. 6 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown, but apparently does want to play the rest of the year out and finish strong for, I'm sure there's obvious reasons, not getting the bump in pay. Touchdowns have been kind of coming for him now and, probably playing for a new deal.
Yeah. It was a horrible day for Josh Rosen, man. 7 times. They benched him for Mike Glennon. The head coach came out, Steve Wilkes. He said they didn't intend to keep him benched for the season. They just wanted to protect him from himself. And also added he's had 5 different OCs in 4 years going back to college. So
right.
The other thing about that too, man, with the pressure he was and the hits he was taking was O-line's young, inexperienced, outclassed on a week-to-week basis. The run game was anemic, bad coaching, organization in disarray, and we're going to another off season with lots of questions about what's wrong in Arizona, lots of suggestions about how to fix it. Good luck. I hope you don't burn the kid because I kind of like him.
Yeah. Obviously the report coming out that Wilkes might not make it.
Yeah.
Which is for me, and I've said this plenty before. We've asked the question before, especially in the Detroit situation.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've definitely brought it to me, and I've always kind of steadfast on this. I know you've kind of been a little bit opposite of this, but for me, if you're firing a coach that's only been there 1 year, top down, you have a serious problem.
Well, the other stories that have been circulating this past week, I mean, especially over the weekend, is the GM's going to get fired too. But there's also alternating stories or converse stories where basically they're saying the coach will go, but the GM will get to stay.
Well,
at least one more year.
Yeah, I think we just kind of hang our hat on this right here before we get out. Organization has not really been that good since Bruce Arians has left.
So that's what I've been saying.
So, Raiders Bengals, a little bit of a surprise for me. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. We know where they're headed. However, as well as the Oakland Raiders have played the past 2 weeks, albeit at home, they go on the road, kind of lay an egg. Bengals get the win 30-16.
Yeah.
They get to 6-8. Derek Carr 21-38 for 263 and a touchdown, still being a little bit more efficient than he was earlier in the year. Not enough to get them over the hump, obviously.
Yeah.
The other side note for me, as far as this game goes, we have 2 games left, right? With 2 games to go, Khalil Mack has more sacks than the entire Oakland Raiders still. And
yeah,
I'll leave that at that on Oakland. Now,
okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No.
Okay. And on the Bengals side, I mean, you won a game with Jeff Driscoll going for 14 for 33 for 130, touchdown and pick, but that's because your boy Joe Mixon, been talking about him a lot this year. He's up to number 4 in the league in rushing, 27 carries for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, another terrible day at the office for Oakland. Driscoll had some ugly passing numbers, but he extended a few plays with his legs. Gruden got the scout report on Driscoll from Paul Gunther, former coach with the Bengals, and A.J. McCarron. They both called him very athletic. I'm not sure how Cincy feels about him, but you never know what some coaching up can do. Also, Cincinnati's first game with 30 points since starting their 5-game losing streak. Defense had their way with Oakland for the most part. Geno Atkins with 3 sacks and Sam Hubbard with 2 sacks. 1 passing target near the end zone, but a bad pass from Driscoll. He also blocked as a fullback for Mixon on a TD run. So my thing with this guy is, man, keep your eye on this kid. He's from Ohio State. Same draft as Billy Price, and they just got Billy Price back a few weeks ago. The center that got injured or whatever tore his pec at the combine.
Yeah.
Sam Hubbard was projected to be a 1st or a 2nd round pick. I think he was ranked the 3rd best D lineman in the draft by Draft Scout, and like the 5th best edge rusher in the draft by Sports Illustrated. Kid went in the middle of the 3rd round. It's a prime example, guys, of so much talent being out there that it gets pushed down to the later rounds, and you don't see it start to burgeon or expose itself until later on in the season. So,
although I will pump the brakes just a little bit. Raiders did start Chaz Green this game.
Sure, and they were trying to come back. I'm talking specifically about this particular player. Oh yeah, keep an eye on him.
A game that had a lot of playoff implications as we move on to both conferences. Dolphins went to Minnesota. Minnesota with the new offensive coordinator after moving on from Mr. Flip. Jumped out 21-0. Quick in the first half. Over 200 yards in the first, or not the first half, but hell, the first quarter.
Yep.
Over 200 yards in the first quarter. Biggest first quarter that we've seen in the league this year. Dolphins did scratch back and got it back to 24-17, albeit you had a big break run from the rookie Kellen Ballage because Frank Gore was hurt and went down.
Ballage.
Ball age?
No, it's Ballage. Don't be a comedian on here.
Sorry. And the nice pick six from Minka.
And after they did him dirty a couple times because he got caught out there by Stephon Diggs, or really he got caught out there by Kirk Cousins a couple times with Diggs. And
Gotcha.
Diggs scored one, and I think they thought, oh, well, we did it twice to him already. Caught him in the wash. Yeah, we're gonna do him again, and Minka, being the IQ that he has, flip that around on him. Pick.
So they got it to 24-17 head to the fourth quarter, and then Minnesota said, that's enough of that. Dropped 17 on the Dolphins. Dolphins couldn't do much and lose the game 41-17.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, obviously, Zimmer's been talking about the run game and said offensive coordinator now got it loud and clear. Dalvin Cook, 19 carries, 136 yards for 2 touchdowns. Latavius Murray, 15 carries for 68 yards and 1 touchdown. Granted, if you want to get the running game going, Dolphins are ranked 30th in the league coming into this game. So, maybe a little bit there. Kirk Cousins only threw the ball 21 times. Pretty efficient, 14 of 21, 215, 2 touchdowns and a pick. The one question that we've always talked about this entire year, Frank Gore, and Kenyon Drake, right? Frank Gore gets hurt. He only had 5 carries, 14 yards. And we went with Ballage for 12 carries. Kenyon Drake, 1 carry, 6 yards.
Yeah. I got all that here.
Yeah, I don't. So again, we just go back to, I don't. It's still just a big, huge question mark for me why Drake doesn't get the ball more.
I'll get there. So, this game, Minnesota, playing inspired, man. Like it was all on the line for them. Dalvin Cook looking the strongest I've ever seen him this season since he's coming back from the injury, and on Minnesota's second TD of the game, he was rumbling. He looked like how he used to dominate when he was at Florida State. Also, best defense in the league on third down is Minnesota. I still don't trust Kirk Cousins. Tannehill looking putrid, 11 out of 24 for 108 yards. He was sacked 9 times, though. That was a question when I said that. But the bigger question for me, and like you just brought up, I know the Drake escape was a little nicked up, but only 1 carry for 6 yards. But you give him 3 targets for 28 yards passing. Frank Gore is done, but wait. Kalen Ballage, college football fans may remember him from the humdinger of a game between Arizona State and Texas Tech in 2016. Yes, Patrick Mahomes was playing back then, where he tied an NCAA record for ATDs while helping Arizona State beat Texas Tech 68-55 in that game. He had 7 TDs on the ground and 1 TD in the air. Side note, also on that Texas Tech roster at the time was one Kiki QT, recently drafted by the Texans in the 4th round. The running situation, I think Gore hangs it up. Drake becomes the utility guy / runner, and Ballage becomes the thunder or the 2 and the 1-2 punch in Miami's running game. If Gase is allowed to stay and he smartens up about the running game. So.
Yeah, I just, again, I'll keep saying it. I'll be the broken record.
You like those Roll Tide guys. I told you, man.
It's not about Roll Tide in general. It's just about, we go back to last season, whenever they traded away Jay Ajayi, and Drake got fed the ball, and we saw what he did. And while we went into this season, Frank Gore takes, he unfortunately sprains the foot. Looks like he's going. Yeah. Been a long time since he missed a game now. Yeah. He's going to miss 2. Over 14,000 was he fourth all time rushing.
Yeah, I think he's done.
I would like to see him come back just to get over the 15,000 mark. We'll see if a team gives him a chance. Obviously,
maybe.
Because he's only like 200 and I think he's like 238 away from 15,000.
Yeah.
I just. You rushed the hell out of Kenyon Drake whenever Jay Ajayi left, and you saw him put up a 200-yard game. You see him do work, and for whatever reason, is it something in-house that he's just in the doghouse and they're just not going to give him the ball?
Hey, again, I'm going to tell you again, okay? And this is not me stumping for Bama. This is me watching players that I know over the last however many years, 10, 11, 12 years, coming out of Alabama. And I tell you, you're just scratching the surface. Kenyon Drake, you're just scratching the surface. TJ Yeldon over there in Jacksonville, just scratching the surface. Eddie Jackson and some of the wild things he's been doing up in Chicago, you are just scratching the surface. And every week I sit there and I go, what the hell are people thinking out loud in my living room or my office when I'm watching some of these games? And another, what the hell were you thinking moment? You just said it at the top of the hour, right? Hey, how come Mike Vrabel ain't running Derrick Henry? Another Alabama person. I mean, like, what are you doing? I mean, like, it's not like you didn't have tape on these guys, because where some of them went in the rounds, sure, they went later on, but like, I mean, if y'all didn't catch the tape, well, shame on you, because you missing out. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry probably winds up somewhere else next season, bro, and he's starting for somebody. I mean, I could see it happening. You know how they do, man.
Yeah. Again, it's just.
And I don't even think Kenyon Drake. I don't even think Kenyon Drake finishes out his career in Miami. I think he's gone.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's definitely quite possible. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, Minnesota getting the 9 sacks. Mm-hmm. Second time.
O-line need help. But
yeah, I'm just saying, Vikings became the second team since 1990, and the 7th since the merger of 70 to register at least 9 sacks in multiple games in a single season.
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy, man.
A lot of these games too, man. Like, we're gonna see in some of these games where you just like, I know, like, we've been talking over the past couple of weeks of like, scratching our heads, like a lot of head scratching moments, right? It's that time of the year. Guys are hitting walls. Guys are in situations they don't want to be in. I mean, you see some of the stuff happening in Oakland, and I mean, even it looks like they're putting up a fight, but still, like, they are where they are. They know how guys on that roster know how many draft picks they have. Guys on that roster know that with those draft picks, they're going to pick guys ahead of them. So, hey, they're not looking to kill themselves to, you know what I mean, to play for a coach that don't want them there. Yeah, like, it's ridiculous now. So, you know,
I know just both these teams both these teams had a lot to play for, but
yeah, but it's that time of the year, man.
Yeah, Dolphins fall to 7-7. Minnesota holding on to the 6th seed in the NFC, going 7-6-1 now.
And crazy to add, right? Crazy, right? After some of the play we seen this past weekend, man, I might trust the Vikings more than I trust anybody else I seen that's been coasting along, streaking along. Hello, New Orleans.
And we'll get there too. But if the running game can be that, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Now we'll see how they do here next week. But yeah, I mean, the running game can be that. Yeah. You know, and that's what made them dangerous last year. I mean, obviously Cook was out, but Murray was just, you know, hammering it in there.
And Dalvin was on a tear too, man. Before he was like, you saw it immediately. Like, oh man.
He's a difference maker, no doubt. Yeah. Then on to the Donuts in Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. The Donuts. Cowboys go in, winners of 5 straight, facing the Colts, who had won 6 of 7. And Colts get the dub, 23-0. Both teams now sitting at 8-6. Cowboys need 1 win in the final 2 weeks to clinch the NFC East. Indianapolis Colts staying alive, obviously getting ahead of Miami now, who is 7-7. They're 8-6, and of course, Ravens drop 1. They do have the tiebreaker with the Ravens. Definitely a team that they make it into the playoffs in the AFC.
All bets are off.
Yeah, teams might be scared of them.
Hey, you know how I go. Defense travels.
Andrew Luck. I mean, 16-27 for 192, but this game right here was all about Mr. Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack showed up, said, hey, Cowboys, I heard about that hot boys y'all got in the front 7, and I don't care. 27 carries, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns. At one point, he was averaging over 7 yards per carry. Kind of did down towards the end of 5.1. Luck even used his legs some, 6 carries for 20 yards. And Nyheim Hines, the rookie, 6 carries for 19 yards. Man, just the run game. And then, you know, you flip over to the defensive side of the ball. Now, the Cowboys had 7 drives. All 7 of them made it to the Colts side of the 50. 5 of them were in scoring range. A couple of them in the red zone even. Colts defense said, that's cool. Don't care. Darius Leonard, monster game. I mean, watch, rinse, repeat, right? I've said this a plenty of times about him before. 11 tackles, was all over the field. Came up with big tackles in big situations. You had Odom with 5 tackles and an interception from the DB position. Taquan Lewis, the rookie, 0 for on the board sacks, came up with 2 big sacks in this game for that defense as well. Matt Eberflus, who's their defensive coordinator now. Funny how this NFL works, right? Because he was the linebackers coach in Dallas for 4 or 5 years. Now, that guy from New England was going to be the Colts coach, and put this team together. And Matt Eberflus happened to be a part of that coaching staff, and then he backed out. Big ups to Frank Reich, came in and said, no. We'll keep these guys here. I'll take care of this. Paid big dividends. They were ready. They threw everything at them, able to get pressure. Even though Dallas had drives of 14 and 15 plays, it's that old bend, don't break. As soon as they got inside that 20, how about now? How about now?
Frank Reich, former offensive coordinator in Philly.
Absolutely. So very familiar with Dallas as well. Dag 24-39 for 206 and interception. Zeke had an okay game. I mean, 18 carries for 87 yards, 4.8. Also had 7 catches for 41 yards. For Cowboys fans that haven't seen the tight ends do much work, I mean, Blake Jarwin has 4 for 45. The rookie Dalton Schultz hasn't done much this year, had 3 for 23. But the biggest thing coming out of this is the Cowboys defense. As good as they've been against the run, I mean, they still did pretty good against the pass against the Colts when you think about Andrew Luck. But against the run, man, they were just getting gashed. And they have not, I mean, we saw them against great running teams, whether it's the Saints and whatnot, and they've really been able to shut down the passing game, the running game. Colts came in, they were more physical on both sides of the ball on the line. And when you went into the trenches, these are the results you'll get.
Next game.
Nothing? No? You didn't watch it? Okay. Bucks and Ravens.
I don't talk about Cowboy stuff, brother. You know that.
Okay, well, eventually you have to, but you have before.
I won't have to. I'm pretty good. I'm good with it. I'm good with
but you have before.
You're the voice of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's what they call you in the group, the voice of the Cowboys.
I haven't seen that, but okay.
Yeah,
Bucks and Ravens.
I'll bring it up for you. Yeah.
Do that.
Bucks Ravens. So, yeah, this is a drag of a game for these two teams. So, I mean, this wasn't Jameis's best day, nor his worst. Some of the play call and the route combinations were super suspect on third down situations. From what I could see, Jameis was 0 TDs, 1 pick on the day. Again, like last week, it was late in the game. But, we know who Baltimore is defensively. Also, a reminder, if Baltimore sneaks into the playoffs, be aware, AFC. So,
hey, got to bring that lunch pail.
Yeah. And also, I mean, the best defense really was Baltimore's offense. That ball control. They had it for 37 minutes, over 22 minutes compared to Tampa. Baltimore even had more turnovers than Tampa in the game. But the defense was so gassed, and it's hard to get in the rhythm as an offense when you basically possess the ball for a quarter of a half of a 4-quarter game. The only good thing kind of really to come out of this whole deal is Levante David setting some records over there. From 2012 through 2018, the NFL opponent fumble recovery leaders. Levante David leads with 13. Julius Peppers is next on that list with 11. He's tied with J.J. Watt. And then safety Mike Adams out of Carolina. And I mean, it was that kind of day, man. It was cold, blustery, that type of thing. And it was awful, man. I mean, Baltimore rolls again, 20-12 over the Bucks.
And I mean, to expound on Levante David, I mean, 10 solo, 2 assists, and 2 sacks to boot.
Yeah, that was 12.
Monster game. Vita Vea showed up with 6 and 3 also. 6 tackles, 3 assists. Peyton Barber ran the ball pretty decently, considering it, as we're talking about the Ravens defense, 19 carries for 85 yards. Mike Evans, 4 catches for 121. But like you said, man, the Ravens, that offense and running the ball, Gus Edwards, 19 for 104, Lamar, 18 for 95, Kenneth Dixon, another 11 for 48, just pounding them.
Marlon Humphrey with the INT, roll tide.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those games. And look, whenever you have those rushing stats and you get Lamar to do this passing, 14 to 23 for 134 and 1 touchdown, they're going to be tough to beat.
Hey, in 37 minutes, they control the ball.
They're tough to beat that way.
It's hard.
Now, the back door to that is, as long as the game's close, right? If you can get up 10 on them, you got a chance. But you got to get up 10 on them.
Hey, man.
That's the thing. But they're behind the 8 ball. They really needed, and we'll get to this game here in a little bit with Pittsburgh. They really needed Pittsburgh to lose, and they didn't.
Yeah. It's one of those things, man. Like, is how often have we had this conversation, man? Like, man, you got to take care of your business as a team when you got a chance to take care of business. Don't come running in here in the fourth quarter of the season trying to do all kind of algebra and all kind of stuff to try to figure out how to get in the playoffs. Like,
no doubt. I mean, a couple things there. I mean, this defense was really banged up.
I know. I was going to add that earlier. Like, but now,
what happens if this quarterback and they play with this style earlier in the season, though, and there's that side of it as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, though.
Yeah, Bucks go to 5-9. We know where they're headed, and definitely some quarterback futuristic things that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, no doubt.
Yeah.
Lions, Bills.
Let me talk about that because I know you don't want to talk about it. I got plenty of stuff.
You got plenty for this? Okay. I mean, both teams are 5-9 now. Bills win 14-13. Go ahead.
Yep. So, first of all, Detroit is Deadspin's ass team of the week. It's a recurring feature on Deadspin, and where they celebrate the most butt teams the NFL has to offer. Detroit gained 313 total yards, didn't commit a single turnover, converted 38% of their third downs, completed 22 of 29 passes, Matt Stafford did, and they ran the ball for 4 yards per carry. They aren't great numbers, but you're not turning the ball over and you put together a couple of competent drives. Generally is all it takes to beat a team like the Buffalo Bills and how they're currently constructed. Lomas Brown, former Detroit Lions offensive tackle, had Matt Patricia on his radio show after the game, post-game. Lomas asked Matt how he'd address his team now that the playoffs are out of reach. He said, look, for us, it's not different. We go out, we compete, we try to win, and we try to effing get better every week.
Someone said we practice in the snow.
No, but okay. Somebody on Twitter said that the F-bomb signaled that Patricia had been finally officially indoctrinated into the Detroit Lions culture of utter disappointment. We know the record. We've seen what's going on. I've kind of been saying it in different ways, using different words. I think this coach might be a little bit out of his element, even with the pedigree that he has. And I mean, Detroit needs to get better and better players who know how to execute in a hurry.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Dial up what the Patriots defense was ranked last year.
Oh, let me look that up.
Dial that up. Okay. And when you dial that up and you see that number, explain to me how that guy gets a head coaching job. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe working with the parts that he had. I mean, maybe they figured that's what it is. I mean, I don't know. Let me see. New England. Oh, I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
I could be wrong there. What is it? 2018.
2017.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking what year it is now.
Yeah, no. Wait, hey, we're on the clock though. Yeah. 19 right here.
Yeah.
19 right here.
Higher than 20.
Barely.
I just saw, higher than ranked 20.
Barely.
Yeah.
And then if you go the year before that, it's closer towards the bottom, which he was a defensive coordinator there too.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like you know he's not putting consistent top 10 defenses out here.
Yeah.
And you're working with quote unquote the defensive Jedi Master in the hoodie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know, like you point the finger at that guy and say, yeah, him. Bring him here. Now, maybe a little over his head, possibly.
Well, see, here was the thing. Let me interrupt you for a minute.
Sure.
I think this was something that I wanted to touch on earlier in the year, right?
Uh-huh.
Something that a lot of teams don't do, that the Patriots do, is whatever your forte is or whatever it is that you decide you want to get into when you come from the, you know, kind of like, you know, the practice squad of the coaching tree or coaching staff of the Patriots, right? So like practice squad for coaches is the equivalent of quality control or guys that work, you know, videotape or whatever, right? So when you're a defensive minded coach or what, if that's what you want to get into, they start you off on the offensive side of things so that you learn that part or that phase of the ball game first. And then you will move up to those things. So like for Patricia, he started off as an offensive assistant, then an assistant offensive line coach. Mm-hmm. Then they moved him to linebackers coach. And he spent about 3 years doing all that offensive stuff before he got to start coaching defense. He's a former player too. He was an O-lineman, but I mean, like, this is how New England does things. And you can kind of see, like, other coaches that have been there in the past and have gone on and succeeded other places, like, that's how they do things, man. And this one really kind of shocked me. You know what I mean? I know the defensive ranking was kind of trash, but I mean, like, you know how Bill is, man. They don't go drafting number ones in the defense all the time. You know what I mean? No. They go pick up third rounders, fourth, fifth rounders.
Yeah, I mean, it's about scheme fit, and maybe he just didn't pick up on that. I mean, whether here or there, I mean, we can kind of get. I mean,
and for what it's worth, beat the old coach this season too. So I mean,
I don't want to get too. I don't want to get too long in the tooth. I mean,
I know what you mean.
I just want to go back to the trade deadline, and whenever you traded away Golden Tate, you're canceling the season at that point. I mean, cool. Kenny Golladay did have 7 catches for 146 and whatnot, but you don't really have much else on that side.
Worst move: Golden Tate getting traded away or Khalil Mack.
I mean, obviously Khalil, right? But I mean, for as far as in season, this is tough. This was tough for them. You know, running game's still not there. I mean, you went and signed back Zach Zenner, and he got the ball 10 count. He got the ball more than anybody else more than LeGarrette, more than Theo Riddick. Yep. Granted, he had 10 for 45. And of course, back to the kickers. I mean, running thing all year. As our guy Scott Beckett says, the spreadsheet is undefeated. You know, Matt Prater misses a field goal, you lose by 1 point. You know, one last thing before we get out of here on this and whatever's going on with Detroit. That boy Robert Foster showed up again, though. 4 for 108 and a touchdown. Building some chemistry with that young quarterback over there.
Hey, one more thing to add.
Okay.
Thank you, John Mara and Dave Gettleman, for not hiring Matt Patricia.
Whew. Dodged the bullet.
Maybe so.
Dodged the bullet.
Could you imagine this going on right now? I mean, it's not the greatest story in New York to begin with, but could you imagine this now?
Yeah, I don't know if he would have.
Bro, when you start talking about we gonna practice in strange places and all that, hey, even like dropping the F-bomb on a radio station post game.
Temperament.
Mara wouldn't be happy about that, bro.
Right. Yeah, that temperament probably not going to cut it.
No.
On to Packers, Bears.
Yeah. I didn't catch much of this, so let me know what's up.
Yeah. I mean,
it wasn't a great day for A-Rod. I know that.
Yeah. I mean, Bears get to clinch the NFC North as they get the win 24-17 and go to 10-4. Green Bay falls to 5-8-1 and are eliminated for the second year in a row from playoff contention. I was big on Green Bay. I knew they had to get past this game. If they could get past this game, I thought they would win out and get into the playoffs. Unfortunately, They had a chance there towards the end. And A-Rod throws a ball, gets batted. Eddie Jackson gets the pick. Does get injured. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Well, they hope.
They hope. You know, obviously they were able to get the stop, go down, get the field goal, try for the onside kick late, couldn't get it. But A-Rod 25 of 42 for 274, and obviously the pick, no touchdowns. Again, Aaron Jones gets hurt early for them. Jamal Williams comes in, does well for 12 for 55. Devontae Adams showed out for eight catches and 109 yards.
Be quiet, B. Don't nobody care about that. It's A-Rod's fault.
You know how it goes. You know how it goes.
I really didn't mean to be quiet. I was just...
Oh, I know. No. I'm saying you know how it goes. Now, Jordan Howard, 19 carries for 60 yards. I mean, look, I brought this up before about maybe 2 or 3 Nixon sixes ago, and I said maybe, just maybe, the actual MVP for them Bears is old Mitch. Old Mitchell.
He's the VIP. He's the VIP MVP.
He just might be that golden ticket for them, because 20 of 28, 235, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Kind of the difference in this game for them, man. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Defense did very well. You know, the offense, running the ball was okay, but the difference was Mitch today, man. On that day, it just was.
Also, Eddie Jackson, Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, both of the Pro Bowl, and Kyle Fuller, Tarek Cohen too, and then Mitch Trubisky and a bunch of other people are alternates. Danny Trevathan, Roquan Smith, Leonard Floyd, Charles Leno, Cody Whitehair. Trey Burton.
Dangerous team.
I said it.
I mean, we've both said it all year.
We said it the first episode. We said it.
Yeah.
I mean, what were they, 10th last season, and now what are they? I mean, I don't know what they are now.
They got to be top 5 for sure.
Oh yeah.
But the biggest thing is, where the Rams in now we'll see with the Saints getting back to the Dome for the rest of the year where they're at. But the question has to be, did the Rams and Saints peak too soon, and now here come the Bears ripe for the picking of those two teams? We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. But the only reason the Packers aren't in last is because the Lions lost to the Bills. And my God, that's mind-blowing to sit here and think that the Packers have a chance of finishing last in that division. Tough.
Hey man, everybody has a bad season though, man. Sometimes.
I get you. I mean, coach is gone.
This is everybody got to go sit back, reload, regroup, man. In this organization,
right? I mean, last year, A-Rod's hurt, whatever. That's fine. I mean, A-Rod was hurt this year, but he played through it. I mean, 5-8-1. Just obviously, changes have happened. We're going to see a new coach there, but.
Pressure's on A-Rod now, though, bro. I mean, I love the guy, but you know how it is.
Hey, it's got to be. Comes with the check. Hey, what do I always tell you?
It comes with the check. I'm sure do say that.
It always comes with the check. So, and nobody's above that. And A-Rod, guess what? You're now in the hairs of it comes with the check. Better figure it out.
You on the clock, bro.
No doubt. Redskins, Jags. And the Redskins going with not their first string, not their second string, not their third string, but their fourth string quarterback. Also, not their first string or second string or third string or fourth string guards. Fifth and sixth.
Oh yeah, I was reading a story about all the dudes that they actually just went to their transaction sheet.
Yeah,
on the website.
It's crazy, right?
Dude, since September, but really like October, there hasn't been a week they haven't been active on the market.
I mean, look, and here's the thing: it's and we'll stick to the East on this and the NFC. We know the amount of injuries. I mean, they're the Super Bowl champions, so you're going to hear about them a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
We know about the amount of injuries that the Eagles have.
Yep.
But the Skins have more players on IR than anybody.
Yeah, prime example of just when you think you got it bad, somebody else has it worse.
No doubt. But hey, man, Skins battle and get that win 16-13, get to 7-7, stay alive in the playoffs. Yep. Jacksonville 4-10. Josh Johnson 16-25 for 151, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. Mm-hmm. AP, lots of carries, not a lot of yards, but 19-51. Josh Johnson, 9 carries for 49 yards on his 12th team.
Might have something to do with the strangers on that offensive line.
You think, especially with them with the 5th and 6th string guards out in that thing.
Yeah.
Jags, you're playing Cody Kessler. I mean, 9-17 for 57 yards passing. Mm-hmm. He led the team in rushing and had more rushing yards than he did passing with 6 carries for 68 yards. It's just not a good day. Mm-hmm. It's not a good day. They take a L. It's ugly. Mm-hmm. And, it's not really much better with Kessler there as it was with Bortles, and you got quotes from, guys after the locker room. Hey, what about your head coach? Is he going to be here? And said guy says, mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm only worried about me.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Right. The writing is for sure. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Marone's gone. He's out of there. He's for sure gone. And then I just have to worry, is Jalen Ramsey still going to be a Jaguar come next year with everything that's happened?
Yeah, might roll him out of there.
Might roll him out of there, indeed. Mm-hmm. On to the other goose egg donut of the week. Mm-hmm. If you watch this game, and I'm talking about the Titans at Giants, mm-hmm. if you watch this game,
nobody wanted to play this game.
No, but look, I'm telling you, I was looking at the game. I'm like, man, I don't want to be there.
Yep, it was awful. What did I say to you? Nobody wanted to play.
The wind was blowing, the rain was coming down. Sometimes this away, sometimes that away. Awful. It was just, of course, I mean, as we talked about at the top of the show, me losing my fantasy team, Derrick Henry, 33 carries, 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. Thank you. Thank you.
Forget that. How about the start of the game? Marcus Mariota blowing up block, that blowing up Alec Ogletree.
Yeah, that D-cleater.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Little D-cleat action. Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what else too? Evan Ingram, who is my tight end on my fantasy team, came through with the 8 catches for 75. But boy, I just think to myself, he would have got that last play.
A lot of chatter about
Eli threw it underneath. But if you would have got the touchdown, that last play on the turnover, I'm like, that would have been a touchdown. Maybe that would have been enough to put me over.
Mm-hmm. He helped you out in that Frisco game, though, didn't he?
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, he gave me a little love.
Yeah, a lot of chatter about Evan Ingram, though. He might not make it, Doc. He might not make it through that.
I don't know. He's back and healthy and playing pretty good, in my opinion. Now, Saquon wasn't able to do much. 14 for 31 yards, 14 carries for 31 yards.
He got some pretty decent news though this week. He's the first rookie to be named to the Pro Bowl. So I mean,
yeah.
Since the 60s. So
I mean, and then of course, I mean, not only that, he's third, I believe, in the league in rushing.
Yep.
Hold on. Zeke didn't make the Pro. No, Zeke made the Pro Bowl his rookie year, sir. Sorry.
No, I'm pretty sure the stat I saw. Unless that
would you like to buy?
It was a whole 60. Unless that was
little steak and shrimp.
No, bro. I'm
just double down.
I just breezed by the stat today, man. I'm just telling
you. Dak and Zeke both went to the Pro Bowl their rookie year.
Yeah, I just breezed by the stat. I think.
No, it's all good.
I think it was 1960.
Yeah.
First Giants rookie. In the Pro Bowl since 1965. That's what it was.
Yeah, no doubt. Eli Manning, 21, 44, 229. And, of course, looks like he's going to be back.
Who?
Eli.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard your coach kind of talking about that some. So, hey, and Derrick Henry, for what it's worth, also had a pass for 6 yards. More fantasy points that I didn't get. But yeah, man, Titans again 17-0, 8-6, staying in the hunt, keeping the division alive at least for now for them. Yeah, man, and Giants 5-9, helping that draft position for that next year, that next quarterback for y'all.
I know Sterling Shepard got hurt too in this game, so that wasn't cute either. I wasn't happy about that.
I thought he bounced back though. I thought he came back in.
Yeah,
did he not?
But this is what I'm.
It's one of those
about,
times.
Man. You just I can't. We can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, onto the next game, which is one of those who would have thunk it. just one of those weekends, man. Division bedlam, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, they lost, didn't they? Ooh.
Yeah, Seahawks go to the Niners and lose the game in overtime, 26-23. Niners go to 4-10. Hawks fall to 8-6.
Who'da thunk it? Definitely what I said. Who'da?
Yeah, who'da thunk it? The boy Nick Mullins out here again, 20-29 for 275 and a touchdown.
Hey man, Seattle was talking big talk last week, bro. Defense was talking big talk.
Yeah,
big talk.
And I mean, and of course, they went. They just played these guys up in Seattle a couple weeks ago and did what they did. But it just is what it was. I mean, Chris Carson for them. I mean, back to we've been talking about Seattle and the run again. They found again just keeping it moving. 22 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown. Russell, not terrible. 23 of 31, 237, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Niners were able to get a little pressure on him, get some sacks, of course. Of course, if you saw, San Francisco gets a kick return for a touchdown. Sebastian, Seabass. What are no parts?
Completely missed the block. I saw.
Let me tell you what he did. He did his job. That's what he did because he turned him inside. That's what the kicker's job is. Don't let him stay down that sideline. You make him turn back inside. And you know what? And he did that job. Just when nobody else there to help him.
Janikowski. Janikowski got his AARP card, bro.
How is he? Like, he's 41, 40. I mean, he's been around a good grip, man.
Him old.
Him super old. Him not tackling, okay?
No.
He gonna tell you, I don't get paid to tackle.
Man, Sebastian Janikowski ought to tackle somebody in a live game, bro. That's it. They doing the ring. They doing the induction into the to the damn ring, whatever the Hall of
the Ring of Honor.
The Ring of Honor right there. Yeah, right after the game.
ESPN rolls out right there. Does the 30 for 30?
Yeah, done, bro. With all his jerseys hanging in the rafters.
Oh, for real. Yeah. Oh man, I mean, Seattle did get the ball, had a chance in overtime, couldn't do much with it. San Francisco drives it down. Now the one thing I will say is on a 3rd and long. These refs, man. These refs. A little bit of I don't really believe that was a pass interference call, but they got the call, got in the field goal range, and made it. Good for the Niners. Something for them to, back-to-back wins, right? Broncos last week, Seahawks this week. Something for them to build on. Not completely killing their draft position quite yet at 4-10. Crazy thing about it is, I said, Hawks got that 5th seed locked up. Better win. Or we might see somebody, you got a couple teams at 7-7 now that could jump up and take that 5th seed from them. Throwing it out there.
Yeah.
On to Pittsburgh. Patriots. Steelers.
Man,
game.
I was in and out of this game. Like I had it on, but I wasn't really watching. But I was watching.
Well, let me tell you, I was watching. Okay.
Yeah, we had some talk about this too.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh wins the game 17-10 to get to 8-5-1 and keep the Ravens at bay for now. Patriots 9-5, no longer with the bye. First time they've lost 5 games since 2009, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Lots to unpack here. First and foremost, if you were watching this game, the first 2 drives are like, oh, here we go. Man, Pittsburgh down the field, boom, 7. And then right back, boom, 3 plays, and Patriots down the field, boom, 7. Like, oh, it's about to get one of these shootouts on. Let's go. And then defenses started kicking in, and oh man, it was a sight to behold.
Hey, bro. And I thought, we know what the score is, right? The score was like 17-10. The defense kept bailing Big Ben out, and he still couldn't get anything done. And the other side of the field is what prompted my phone call from the other OG QB. And I've heard a lot, in passing, whether it's, passing through a room or, talking to other people and about the New England situation, especially during that game, and actually called you about it. And my question was, without all the language, was, did Tom Brady look like he needed to be a backup instead of the starter for that game? Because it just seemed like that wasn't the same dude. It almost looked like there was an imposter out there. And then there was the other stuff, like watching Gronk disintegrate in front of our eyes game by game. Like, pretty sure last week I said I wouldn't be shocked if Gronk doesn't come back next season to play. But, I mean, past all that, I'm like, feeble, anemic attempts at emulating an offense is what New England looked like during that game. And man, they made Pittsburgh look like the Baltimore Ravens defense. That's how ugly it was at times.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of things for me. You know, the first thing I want to bring up real quick, and as soon as this happened, I posted this, and there was some I think he was trying to get this guy, and then after the game, he backdoored and said what I thought I saw. The interception to Joe Hayden. He's in the pocket. He feels a little pressure.
Yep.
He's not out of the pocket, so he can't just throw it away because he's going to get a penalty. He sees where Gronk is, but his feet's not set, so he tries to throw it and airmail it out of bounds. Not enough arm to get it there because his feet wasn't set. So he said, no, he saw Gronk, blah, blah, blah. Hayden made a play, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Oh, bro.
After the game, Tom Brady himself said, I was trying to throw it out of bounds. I didn't get enough arm on it. Okay, so we know that. Cool. We go back to a week ago. Warren Moon said there's some degrading there with Tom Brady.
Degradation, yeah.
And it's not the arm. It's the legs.
It's the leg strength. Yep.
Because you throw, contrary to most people that believe you, the legs are what you do.
Drive the ball for you. And we're seeing that. And you can actually even go back to maybe he's starting to see some ghosts because on the very last play. Oh, man, exactly.
On the very last play.
Exactly.
He has a chance to make a throw here. Now, let's be clear, to a couple different guys. And for whatever reason, he falls away, throws the ball, and goes to the ground. And it sails high because he didn't step into the throw, and he could have. So there's things there. Stat-wise, 25, 36, 279, touchdown on the team. Here's the other question about the page. So Tom Brady, there's some things there. Look, nobody's saying he's fallen off a cliff, but whenever you start losing some things as a quarterback, these are the things that you're going to see.
And they cascade, man, because that messes with your whole mechanic. Your whole throwing setup is ruined because part of your mechanics are breaking down.
Now, let's go back to whenever they were winning and everything was going fine. That's because James White was very involved, and you were throwing him the ball a ton.
And Sony Michel was in there putting in that action, too.
And you've stopped White 2 carries for 12 yards, only 5 catches for 25. You've quit using White, and you've kind of seen some of these lapses. Also, for uncharacteristic for, the Patriots, look at the rushing numbers and the averages. Why were we not running the ball more? Sony Michel, like you said, who didn't get the ball a ton in the first half, a little bit more in the second half, but 13 carries for 59 yards, 4.5. Rex Burkhead, 4 carries, 25 yards, 6.2. James White, 2 for 12, like I just said, 6 yards per carry.
Yeah, definitely not.
Why are we not running the ball more?
That's not textbook New England offensive football. Not.
No,
I mean,
not
we can run through the running backs over the years, right? Over the decades, what's the old boy's name? Corey.
Yeah, Corey Dillon.
The LeGarrette Blunts. The Stephen Ridleys, the Lawrence Maronis, and up to now, and even guys that are receivers masquerading as as running backs, some of the Wes Welkers, and hey man, this is what you're going through. Edelman ain't the same. You missed him for 4 games this season. Hey man, he ain't the same. He's still trying to deal with that ACL a little bit. He ain't got that burst, and Gronk is just Gronk's like a robot out there. He's just breaking down. Every time you see Gronk run a play, you just see a piece of him fall off on the ground.
I say this a lot about Antonio Gates, and I'm starting to see this about Gronk.
Gates moves faster than Gronk.
I just say whenever I see him move and run, it looks like it hurts.
Yep.
And it's starting to look like that for Gronk.
Yep.
The key stat, though, here for Pittsburgh, talked about this on Nixon 6 this week. I put up 75 yards. Steelers rush for 75 yards. They're 6-0-1.
Yep.
Now you can make them 7-0-1 because Jalen Samuels, 19 carries, 142 yards. And yes, the Steelers did every single thing they could, like you said a little bit earlier in this little segment here, of trying to give this game away, because every time they got in position or whatever, either Big Ben throwing an interception, he threw 2 of them, or they fumbled the ball and turned it over.
Drop passes, too.
Drop passes. So they had a chance. Patriots had a chance at the end, but couldn't get it done. Steelers go on to New Orleans. I'm very intrigued about that game. And Patriots, man, if they had to play wild card round, they're not going to make it. That's my. I mean, it's wide open as this. I just don't see. Not the way they're constituted currently.
I almost want to see Miami instead of New England.
I don't know. I'm gonna pump the brakes on that.
Hey man, I said it earlier in the season, bro. When they won the games, I was like, "Oh, they might not make it out alive."
Yeah, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Then on to the Sunday night game, and the hits keep on hitting, right? Nick. We got to come up with a name. I mean, there's a name out there for Nick Foles.
Yeah,
by the way.
I know what it is, but we can't say it.
We're not going to use that said name here.
Yeah, it's big.
Flick your big Nick.
It's big, and there's another word, and it rhymes with Nick. That's what they call him in Philly.
Yeah. Old Foles shows up.
Big Nick.
Big Nick.
Big eggplant Nick. That's what they call him.
Emoji. And man, take care of business in Los Angeles, man. They beat the Rams 30-23. Rams ran back in it at the end. Couldn't quite get the job done. Nick Foles, 24-31 for 270, interception. Turnovers came at the right time. I mean, Alshon Jeffrey, best game of the year. And we kind of saw last year, Foles and Jeffrey had a pretty good, connection. 8 catches for 160 yards.
He had that shoulder surgery though, man. He's still coming.
Fair enough. But I mean, even look at the numbers with him last year. I mean, just it was kind of one of those things, right?
And I'm actually watching to see if he hurt himself again this week. Post game.
Yeah.
He walking in the tunnel. They
said he was okay.
Face forward. Yeah, I was like,
They said he was okay, but we'll see.
Jack your shoulder up trying to catch that fall.
No doubt. Jared Goff, 35 of 53 for 339 and a pick.
Them Big Ben numbers, bro. You know how that go.
Yeah, so now it's was it 1 touchdown and like 5-6 picks the last 2 weeks. Todd Gurley, maybe the ankle's not right. I don't know. 12 carries, 48 yards, 2 touchdowns. We're not getting the ball a lot.
Todd Gurley got to sit down, bro, or his career is going to be 6, 7, 8 years long instead of 10.
Yeah, I mean, he did have 10 catches for 76 yards on the back end.
Yeah, he got to sit down, bro. For the benefit of him and the team, he got to sit down, man. This Rams defense, and in which we talked about before, and I said it's a lot of names. Yeah,
but I don't know, man. It was, we saw what happened last week. Chicago, we said, well, yeah, man, it's cold. Oh, the Chicago Bears defense. They got back home today, on this game, and Philly was a walking duck, right? Because we talked about, well, they got guys off the street, right? They got the hot dog vendor, or better yet, right? They got the guy from making the Philly steak cheesesteak sandwiches, playing cornerback for him, right?
Yeah.
They're like 5, 6, 7, 8 deep at corner, and now here comes Nick Foles, and they're missing offensive linemen, and didn't seem to matter. I think the biggest takeaway for me is this, as it pertains to Doug Peterson as a play caller. I think when Nick Foles is the quarterback, he doesn't get too exotic. I think he calls a simpler game plan that works with the roster that he has. And I think somewhat of when Wentz is there, he knows the talent that he has, and he gets
cute.
Too cute. and does too much instead of calling a simpler game plan and just letting the talent do what it needs to do.
Yeah, I know. I think he talked about that a little bit before the game too, as far as Foles was concerned. He's like, we run the plays that makes Nick feel comfortable, and like, let's not diminish Nick Foles here, okay? Nick Foles, I mean, he got a little mini cannon for an arm, bro. He can toss the ball. I mean, there's no way around that. I just think, sometimes, who was the kid back in the day, man?
I'm gonna tell you who Nick Foles is.
Jason Campbell. Remember Jason Campbell got tossed
from Auburn.
Went through all them coaches and like could never get out of the starting blocks, offensively and get the development that he needed because he was going through so many damn offensive systems that like you stunted his growth. And I think kind of part of that kind of happened with Foles a little bit, and now we're in a different situation. And I'll let you continue.
Yeah, I think, well, you got to remember, Andy Reid drafted him.
Yep.
Okay. And then, he's playing with Chip Kelly, which, I mean, he had a great season with Chip Kelly now. Now, you have to remember, he did go out there with Andy and back up and got some games in there, too. Didn't play too bad. I mean, I'm throwing out anything with the Rams.
Yep.
Because that was Fisher, so I don't care.
Right, it was trash.
And we see what he did there.
To me, he was there.
Yeah. I mean, he was there. I mean, so was Case Keenum, and we saw. I mean, quarterback-wise, I mean, we saw what Goff was with Fisher, so I just don't count that against them as far as what their play was on the field. Right. Sure, no, not getting no growth.
Oh yeah, no,
for sure. Disagree. I'm gonna tell you who he is to me. I'm actually gonna dive back into the Giants a little bit here. I'm gonna tell you who Nick Foles is to me.
Hostetler.
He's Jeff Hostetler. He's Jeff Hostetler, man.
Yeah, just
he can heat up. He's a gamer.
Yeah.
And he can take you there just like he did whenever Sims got hurt. If you wanted to be the starter, look, you can go back and dial up some of the games he had out there with the Raiders. He wasn't terrible out there, but the team wasn't great or whatever the case, was with them at the time. But, I mean, he played good ball. I just think he's Jeff Hostetler, man.
Yeah.
I think he's an amazing backup. I think if he has the right team around him with the right play caller, he can be a decent starter for you. And, man, there's just sometimes, we talk about – play callers and quarterbacks to just link up and do well with each other. I think him and Peterson just do well with each other.
Yeah.
He just really like Peterson's really comfortable in knowing what he likes to do. And Foles is really comfortable with what Peter. It's just it's a comfortability between the two of them.
I think all of them are comfortable with each other. Like enough, they're comfortable enough to have conversations about the game planning, and things that people need to look at or whatever as they step on the field, or things that other people have seen as they've been on the field and somebody gets hurt, and they come back and they talk to the side in Wentz and Goff and Peterson, and they're also linked, faith-based wise. They're very Christian, in their faith, and they always talk about those things. So I mean, like, I think that's kind of where they kind of connect. And then there's the game of football. All three of them are quarterbacks. Peterson's a quarterback back in the day. He was a backup, and it's just weird, right? And in a sense, you can almost go, man, Philly's lucky. They got two starting quarterbacks on their roster. It's kind of like the Alabama situation, right? Like, like one's a clear starter, and then there's one he could start for you. He's going to win you some games too, and I think that's kind of like the situation here in Philly. But they're going to have some things they're going to need to talk about in the off season. But first, they're going to need to make sure that Carson Wentz is healthy. That's the first thing, because I mean, like,
yeah,
well, you really don't want to have the conversation that people are trying to have right now with the. I mean, if he does it again, then what? Nah, bro. Nah.
But I'm telling you now, that's where it's headed. I mean, they've already said, hey, we're sitting Winston another week. We're going to let him get more healthy.
Yeah.
We're going with Foles.
But you got to, though, for your franchise, man.
I mean, they could have did that for the franchise earlier this year, but they brought him back.
They panicked. Yep.
They panicked.
We said
now
it.
They're not panicking. And now, look, you're in a situation. Let's just walk down. Let's walk that down real quick. They win out. Okay? Yeah. They win out. And whether that gets them to the playoffs or not, but they win out. Puts them in 9-7. it's a serious look. I said last year, though, we've talked about this before on this cast and in other realms. I said the worst thing that ever happened for Carson Wentz in Philly is the fact that he got hurt and they went and won the Super Bowl with him.
You have.
I lied. This is the worst thing now that can happen. That was, now this is. If they went out with Foles, I don't know how you're going to be able to bring him back.
But see, this is different, right? Like, you say they win out, and whether it takes them to the Super Bowl or not. Look, if they get lucky enough to go back to the Super Bowl and Nick Foles is the QB, well, then we can entertain that conversation again, right? But, I mean, you and I have said this to each other 100,000 times in the last 2 years. Tell me the team who loses their starter quarterback and go their backup, and then everything's going to be hunky-dory after that.
Not many.
Look, if Dak Prescott goes down for the Dallas Cowboys, right?
Here comes Cooper Rush.
You comfortable?
Yeah, pray. Yeah, pray.
Hey, the New York Giants, I mean, Eli Manning goes down. I mean, as crappy as he's played.
We know. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you going to Kyle Lauletta?
Hey, we know that across the board. There's no doubt. But the thing about it is, this is a very unique situation that we haven't seen before.
That's why I'm saying, like, we can't even entertain that conversation
crazy.
Until we see lights go up. We know who the performer is for the halftime show, and one of the teams is the NFC team is Philadelphia. That's
and of course, I mean, I don't even think that's get that far. I think if they went out and get to the playoffs, whatever. I mean, because what they're going to talk about in that organization is this, and we have to remember this as well. It's not the fact that Carson Wentz got hurt last year and missed the last 3 games in the playoffs and then went to the Super Bowl. It's not about, well, now he hurt his back and he's missing games this year. You have to go back to his senior season and remember, he missed a whole year there too. So out of his last 4 years, he's only got one that he's played the full season, right?
But they were comfortable drafting him, man.
I agreed. Well, here's the thing, you're right, and you said, well, college 1 year, right? So we throw that out, even though there's some more nagging injuries or whatever. Okay, you throw that out because now we'll see. Well, you played your year. Okay, you're good. Now you're almost an MVP, and then you get hurt. Oh man, and it was kind of freakish. Okay, now you come back. Now it's the back. I mean, at a certain point, you're starting to say, "Hey man, 4 out of 5 years. I mean, can this guy stay healthy? I don't, those questions are going to be had because hey, rookie contract. We talk about this a lot, and that contract's coming soon. And you got to decide because hey, Nick Foles basically has a poison pill. His extension's $20 million.
Yep.
So you can't exactly pick up that option and say we're riding with Wentz too. Like there has to be something done there. So
they said I mean, remember now before he came back last year, that dude was kind of like sitting on the couch, like he wasn't trying to play. He was trying to go home, and they were willing to pay him handsomely to be their backup. Now you could interpret that as we don't really have the full 100% faith in our QB that we have now. But we want a good backup plan. And, hey, look around the league with guys on the street, right? Like, I mean,
I'm just saying cap space-wise, they can't afford it.
Maybe not. But there's a lot of guys, they're going to be loose, you know what I mean, this season. Guys like Brandon Mebane, if they're going to come loose off that roster this week, this season, off-season, so that, they'll be able to make those moves.
All right. And now we always talk about follow the money. So rolling into next year, how's that going to play out whenever your backup's making more than your starter?
I mean, at that time, that's how it works, man. Contract-wise, it's just one of those things.
It's a conundrum, man.
But I mean, like, look, we go back to that draft, right? Like, I mean, if we go back to that draft, if Philly drafts first, do they take Jared Goff or Carson Wentz still?
I mean, they always said Wentz was their guy.
Right, but I mean, like, a lot of people we're going to go draft the QB. Well, we're going to get Wentz, or we're going to get Goff.
And, of course, the other backdoor to that, too, was, as far as what was said inside the building, was the reason they went to number 2 was they were convinced that Goff was going to go 1. If they wasn't sure who was going to go 1, they wouldn't have went to number 2. But they knew Goff was going 1. That's why they were comfortable making the move. Hey, I mean, that's what they say. I mean, whether that's spin or whatever the case may be as far as how they wanted to put that out there. But that's the storyline that was told. But it's always after the fact because nobody tells you nothing before the draft. But I mean, hey, it's a tough situation. I mean, hey, there's harder things to have in life than wondering which quarterback to go with. Although it does heavily impact you if you have to make the call on one or the other. If you can keep both of them, Philly, whatever you got to do, keep both. Have an embarrassment of riches at quarterback. That is everything that you can ask for in this league. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But
for sure,
it's going to come to a head of at a certain point which one isn't. But hey, keep winning and see what happens there. On to this Monday night game.
Next.
Saints, Panthers. You know, a lot of backstory. The sweepage with the broom and the wine, and you know, Cam had the broken broom on one cleat in the distillery of the wine vineyard in Carolina on the other foot. Sitting, you know, all week it was disrespectful. They put out the trick play. Even Riverboat Ron was right on a 4th down. Wasn't enough, man. Saints get a win 12-9. Some crazy stuff there, going for 2, and they picked it to make it 3 points, and a lot of fumbling out the back of the end zone late to give Carolina another chance.
Yeah.
But just not enough. And for me, the biggest takeaway for me is this. Cam's not right. And I actually posted this in the game thread coming in the second half. I'm like, the shoulder's not right. They're not going to be able to win. Look, no disrespect to Cam. He's warrior, whatever term that you want to put on that. I understand it.
Yep.
They wasn't going to be able to win with him. Whenever you're not able to make accurate throws, and look, I've watched Cam long enough.
Yep. We know.
The throws weren't there, and it wasn't on him. It's just simply the shoulder is bad.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have played.
The only thing I kind of really had to talk about too with this game is really Cam. I mean, like, Cam's angry, you know, he's disinterested, and most importantly, he's hurt. I mean, he's out here basically throwing knuckleballs, you know, like the Hall of Famer, you know, Atlanta Braves Phil Niekro. I mean, like, you know, it's basically like, I know Willie Stargell, an old Pittsburgh Pirates player, the Hall of Famer, you know, basically said, you know, a knuckleball's like a butterfly with hiccups. And that's kind of like what Cam looks like, pushing out a knuckleball when he's throwing. And then, like, some of the throws coming out of Cam's hands last night, you know, it was just terrible, borderline horrible passing, like some wobblers that took too long to get to their intended target, some lame ducks that never made it to their target, some bad clock management that could have made the difference in the outcome of this game. And even not just on the coach, but Cam, like 34 seconds to go before halftime. Yeah. You run for the first down. You get up, walk towards the end zone, and make your first down signal like you do, Cam. And then you take your sweet time walking back to the line to line up for the next play while you're talking trash to Saints defenders. And then finally somebody got smart and called a timeout at 23 seconds. Like, what the hell is that? Like, you're better than that, Cam.
Yeah.
You know? And Ron Rivera, you're better than that. And also, hey, when you called timeout and your QB came over to the sideline, I sure hope you gave him a Chicago Bears shuffle slap upside his head for acting like that just before halftime when y'all trying to put some points up on the board, stay in this game. Like, it's ridiculous.
And the very next play was the interception that sealed my fantasy fate.
And then through the INT after that.
Eli
so,
Apple.
Like, crazy, man.
You know, I mean, obviously I think Cam was trying to get himself juiced up some there. Figured the coach would bang the timeout. He didn't. But, I mean, you got to, first and foremost, celebrate all you want to. I mean, you got a first down. It's big. You're trying to get these points.
Yeah.
Clock management for sure.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Horrible.
But, I mean, again, from that organizational side, I mean, you could tell in the first half with the throws and the way the ball was coming out of his arm and stuff, it's not there. It just wasn't there that night. And I think they should have went to the backup personally. Hey, sorry. I just did.
What, like they did, what was it, the week before or a couple weeks before? Because they thought his arm was shot and, you know, he came in for the last play of the game. Like, man, like, here's another thing, right? As much talk as there is about Cam, right, and he's not right, and blah, 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 like, he makes the decision about whether or not he plays. The organization had paid him a whole bunch of money and are paying him more money and probably will at least next season, right? Like, where's your responsibility as an organization to take that guy off the field so he doesn't further endanger himself?
Or better yet, you know, with the way the shoulder was as far as throwing the ball, why not have a more active game plan of designed runs for him? and use the feet.
But here's the thing, right? If you got a bum shoulder and you're throwing shoulder, and it's his right, he uses his right arm. Like when you run like he runs, what's going to happen? You're going to go face forward, and you want to fall on your shoulder.
Man, we got to. I mean, that's got to be part of the game plan in that office. Like, hey, we got to get you out there on some read options and let you go feet first. I mean, that's just got to be part of the game plan. Because I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I mean, he was taking hits anyways. What did he get, sacked 5 times? Yeah, 5 times. I mean, and plus he was getting hit, down the gun barrel. I mean, we saw a couple times where the guard and Christian McCaffrey had a miscommunication about how to pick up the blitz, and a guy was coming free. Even if he got rid of the ball, he was still getting touched. Yeah. I mean, he was getting hit anyways. I mean, I just think they could have did a little bit more. I mean, defense play. I will say this: on the Panther side of the ball, Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis.
Yeah.
Monster games, a lot of heart.
Great tandem.
A lot of heart, monster game from them. Just did any and everything they could in their power to try to will them to win. Yep. It's the best I've seen that defense maybe play all year.
Yep.
And it wasn't enough. Now, I will ask this. We've seen Drew Brees over the last 3 weeks. I mean, and I'll give you the stat line on this game: 23, 35 for 203 and an interception. Now, 12-2, number 1 seed. Has the last 3 weeks in his stat lines cost him the MVP, you think?
I don't know, man. I mean,
I think it's going to be the sympathy vote some.
I don't know. I've seen plenty of arguments that say he's going to get it. He's the clear MVP winner. Then there's others that say it's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I don't know, man. It's that time of the year. Sometimes you're going to take some beats. This is a divisional opponent. And sometimes you're going to get some dubs on your divisional opponent, and it's not going to look pretty. So, I mean, I think Sean Payton gets everything back in order for them. They're going back home and probably try to finish out the season. They're probably going to go through the playoffs, probably going to go through them in their dome, and they get sparked up by the city. They ain't got to travel. People can relax a little bit and then gear up the way they need to instead of worrying about travel arrangements and, who's being taken care of while they're out of town and all that other stuff. Like,
Yeah, no doubt.
It's tough.
I don't know. Three straight weeks and just it's just a little, I think for me, I think he's in there. I mean, obviously playing against Pittsburgh puts up a big game, definitely helps because he's probably not going to play week 17 if they got the number 1 seed wrapped up.
Maybe.
That's going to be my guess.
Yeah.
Panthers 6-8 probably are eliminated from the playoffs at this point. Not going to run into that. Again, Saints 12-2 now.
Yeah.
To me, as I feel currently in my gut right now, I think it's down to Phillip Rivers and Patrick Mahomes. Whoever wins that division, I think gets it.
Well,
but we'll see.
Yeah. Let me also add to the last few weeks with Brees, and I've said it, like I said it in the Bucs game too. This guy, ever since the Dallas game, he's not right. Doesn't seem like mentally, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the goal is getting too close and the walls are starting to close in. Maybe he's panicking a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on with the O-line play.
I was gonna say I do know Unger went out again with concussion protocol.
Wow.
Yeah, the center. So we'll see. Yeah, keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it's just and that's another thing. I mean, with him and his height, and when that O line gets collapsed, he can't see to deliver the ball. You're gonna have them kind of performances. And Breeze is a different kind of QB when he's under pressure. He ain't gonna give you no picks. You ain't gonna ring up no picks on him. Like, not saying you're not gonna get one, but he ain't gonna let you ring up picks on him. So A, y'all got more opportunities to score, and B, it gets in his head. He's smart enough. He's like that smart. So I just kind of look at his situation the last couple of weeks, watching him on the sideline and, all that other stuff. Like, nobody's making like a deal out of that. Like, I'm watching this dude staring in the air, got his hat on. He's by himself on the bench. He ain't looking at the Microsoft Surface tablets. You know what I mean? Like it like none of that, and like, hey, look, if that was Cam Newton that was sitting on the sideline by himself, trying to get himself together, find himself, what we'd be saying right now. You know what I mean? What we'd be saying. If that was Tom Brady which he's been known to do before, go sit on the bench on the other side, cuss the coaches out on the way to the bench. Everybody clears out the bench because Tom's mad and he's sitting down. Or we're going to say, oh, Tom's just being competitive.
Yeah. That's what he does.
Yeah. If that was Cam, y'all be saying something different, though. Just saying. I mean, got to get it together, Drew. This might be the last ride, bro.
Yeah, maybe so. But I mean, I think he was definitely in the game last night. I definitely saw that in the Bucks game, which we brought up on the cast. Like you definitely brought up and highlighted on the cast last week. I think he was in the game this round though. Mm-hmm. It's tough sledding, and then sometimes when it's not coming easy. Yeah, which we've talked. Plenty has been made of. Saints outdoors or on the road versus at home. They're kind of very Jekyll and Hyde-ish. It's kind of, even though I don't think this team is as finesse as the Peyton Manning Colts way back when. Yep. Because they definitely are physical running the ball. I think their defense is more physical up front somewhat than what that defense was for the Colts. But it's a little bit of the same thing. And if you can collapse that guard to guard situation up the middle, Drew Brees definitely has some issues. But you got to do it in the dome with that sound, though, baby. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, we got stuff to move on to, man. Let's go.
We are talking about aging quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see. Let's start with the guy I just talked about. Felipe.
Second down,
Mr. Rivers.
Second down stuff, bro.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Rivers. Old man Rivers.
Okay.
9 kids in this thing. Current backups. You got Geno Smith in there. Cardinal Jones. I don't know if either one of those are the incumbent per se.
Yeah.
His
it definitely ain't Geno.
No, I think Geno's kind of what he is. If someone wants to believe in Jones, there's some things to like about him. I don't know where they feel or where they're at, as far as that progression goes.
He runs the practice squad. That's all I know.
Right. Obviously Phillip kind of on a compared to some of these numbers, $22 million cap hit.
Yeah.
Pretty good right now for the production that you're getting.
Yeah.
If you want to get into, I don't know. Are they ready to go spend some draft capital? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. They got the 29th pick in the draft right now. If the season closed today, so I don't think. Phillips coming back. The Chargers,
no doubt.
The Chargers have an out, but Phillip ain't
he's coming back.
But Phillip ain't leaving that whatever it is, $16 million or whatever it is that he gets. You know what I mean? For next season. Like, he ain't doing that. So, assuming he's coming back, I don't know. I think they look to current NFL personnel and maybe look, maybe the Saints come loose of, Teddy B. They go grab him. You know what I mean? Or, there's other guys out there. You got the A.J. McCarrons, that probably won't be with Oakland.
Winston, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I would absolutely, unequivocally love James Winston to go there.
Sure.
That would be my A1 for them.
Sure. Yeah, that would be a good look. But, as far as the Chargers situation goes, currently, they just, they need to get through. By the time they get to next season, at least by the trading deadline, they should probably have whoever it is that they intend to, make the quarterback after Phillip leaves, because I don't know if he stays after he's done getting his
after 19.
Yeah, I don't think he stays.
Well, technically, he's definitely a free agent come 2020.
Yeah. That conversation could change for us too. If we hear he gets extended sometime, in the middle of the year or whatever. So,
but as a depth that's currently constituted, there's no doubt. Like, they had to get an incumbent in there this offseason. Yeah. They can't wait. Yeah. Period.
Oh, yeah. Whether it's via draft or free agency
or free agency, no doubt.
Yeah. So, we can move on to New England. There's another aging QB.
St. Thomas, I mean, he's going to play till he's 45, sir. Is there really a rush?
Yeah. You seen that Pittsburgh game the other day?
I sure
like he
did.
Till 45, or does he look like?
Sure did,
or
buddy.
did he look like he wanted to retire before the beginning of the season?
Better be careful. We'll be labeled haters.
Yeah. Well, y'all call me whatever you want to call me.
Current backup, Brian Hoyer. We know he's not there. Mm-hmm. I like the side note of Julian Edelman in an emergency.
Yeah, I had to write that down because, I don't know what else you're going to do in a pinch. It ain't going to be the kicker.
I mean, obviously, we know he's on the super duper friendly deal just for the simple fact of TB12 and the money in the kickback, and the wifey's worth $300 million. So, the nice easy deal there for them. Again, signed through 2019. I don't know. This here is, I don't know what you do because of all the issues they've had behind those closed doors, and where Brady said, "Uh-oh, Hoodie's about to do me like he's done everybody else. Mm-hmm. The incumbent's here. I'm gone in a year. Well, let me go talk to the owner." Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know what they do here. I don't know. For me, I'm over here like I think Hoodie. I'm ready for the Hoodie to go to Green Bay and see what kind of action we got there.
Right.
But I mean, draft wise, what are you doing with the draft? They're not going to trade up. They're not going to waste. They're not going to spend no capital.
But I don't know, man. But why wouldn't you? I mean, I know what your history says as an organization, as a coach, but I mean, why wouldn't you?
I mean, I'm of the mind. I'll say what I think. I think I'm of the mindset of there'll be no capital spent moving anywhere for assets until Tom Brady gives the okay now. That's what I think. I think Tom Brady doesn't want nobody else on this roster that can challenge him. That's why Brian Hoyer's back here.
Yep. I believe that.
That's why you got rid of not only my boy Brissett, who I think has the opportunity to go and do some things in this league still, but obviously you go ahead and flip on the Wonder Boy Garoppolo. I mean, so whoever's going to be the backup here for the rest of the time, it'll be a Brian Hoyer type. I don't think it's going to be, they moved up and got, let's just say, all right, if we walk it out, say Justin Herbert comes out and he falls to 15th.
Yep.
Patriots aren't going to come up and do that.
Yeah,
not with Brady there.
But they do have a first. They have 2 2s. They got 2 3s. A
they
4th,
can.
a 5th, a 6th,
sure.
3 7ths.
Yeah, they can. I just don't think it's going to happen because of what's happened with Brady and that owner.
I don't know, man. I think if you're a team if you're Mark Davis / John Gruden, and Hoodie goes, "Hey, look, I know maybe you don't want that quarterback right there that's coming out of Oregon, but I need one. Mm-hmm. So let me give you 2 of these 3 7s. Let me give you this one of these seconds and a 3rd or a 4th, because you can make them kind of moves, right? And they're greedy for picks, right? Clearly, they're greedy for picks. Hey, man, you getting 5 picks to come out of
your... gotta get... There's no way.
To come out of your spot? Hey, man, I'm telling you.
Not if they got a first attached to it.
Yeah, but they already got 3 firsts.
And they'll take another one.
Yeah, but I'm saying they already got 3 firsts, so they could still probably go get who they want to get. And maybe even shuffle around some of them picks they get from New England. It's possible. Yeah. It's not impossible.
Nobody's going to go from 28th to say first or second overall without giving up multiple firsts.
Sure. Man. Yeah.
Multiple firsts.
I'm saying Oakland is pick hungry. I'm not saying any other organization is going to do that. I'm saying Oakland is pick hungry. Watch.
Right, I agree.
Them are moves that can be made, bro.
Yeah, as long as there's some firsts in there, I agree. But again, I'm back with the Hoodie might be ready to go make that move.
Yeah.
Brady done got crapped in the pocket and is like, no. We're not going to put me on no clock until I'm ready to be put on the clock. And therein lies the stalemate that is New England.
Yeah, that's why I said he's out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but after Sunday's performance,
maybe Hoodie can get back in Kraft's ear and be like, hey, We got to do something stat.
I'm telling you though, man, like
we got to let it play out though.
What's that conversation like with Edelman and potentially Gronk?
I don't know. I mean, Gronk said he ain't going nowhere without Brady. I mean, like, let's be clear now.
Yeah.
We've had the hoodie Trump not once but twice.
Yeah, but I know Gronk right. Ain't going nowhere but to the retirement
But Gronk
bench.
was traded though.
Well, they had him traded, yeah, and then
he said, "No, I ain't going nowhere." And then that's what I'm saying. I mean, the hoodie's been trumped not once but twice in New England, trying to move on.
I'm just talking about the specific performance from Sunday, like because you know them dudes. You seen the little TB12 videos or whatever it was, Tom and Time or whatever videos, like him and old Edelman and Amendola, they chill out. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm wondering what that post game combo is about, and eventually. As you game plan, hey, you got to talk to Hoodie sometime during this week. Hey, Hoodie, he'll let you know how you did the last time out as you prepare for the next week game.
Hey, man. Gronk looks so like he got old overnight. Now, you want to talk about a cliff? That's a cliff.
Parts falling off.
Yeah, that's not cute. I mean, hopefully he can figure that out.
Last week, that dude's probably done, bro.
On to New Orleans and maybe the current MVP, maybe not. Yep. Drew Brees. The most interesting situation here for me because I think he obviously through 2020. Okay. But it's one of those situations of if he wins this Super Bowl, I could see him walking off into the sunset.
And leaving the money on the table?
He's made plenty. He's going to once you got two Super, he's going to make plenty after this game as well, too.
Cuzzo.
I'm listening.
Hey, look. I don't care what they gave you before.
Yeah.
And I said that in my best Port Arthur accent that I could conjure up at this time, but I don't care how much they gave you before. If they're trying to give you 23 milli.
23, yeah.
To come back and do what you do.
Yeah.
Man, you could take $1 million of that and spend that on your own personal, private trainer to take you through the year, like how Witten was doing the last couple of years.
You gonna do that TB12 method? The TB12 get stretched out?
No, not like that. I mean, like how they had to get ready the last couple of years when he was in Dallas.
Right.
So, if you spend $1 million of that, you still got plenty of bread roaming around, even after Uncle Sam come and take his bite.
Yeah, leave you about 15, something like that.
23 milli, bro. You gonna leave 23 milli on the table?
Here's the thing, though. Drew's a different cat.
Yeah, we get it, and I don't disagree with that.
He's a different cat. He's a different cat, and there's not many guys that get to walk out this game on top.
Yeah, but it's 23 milli though.
I understand, but he's got stuff going. He's a family man of God. He's into the community. He's got plenty of the deals on deck. I agree with you. For us looking at his 23 woody whoop and the whole, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. And Drew probably could take 23, his 23 million.
And you have to look at this too, these last three games and the looks into the sky and what's going on.
Why am I here, God?
Why, right? Hey, is it over? Can I get through? I'm just saying, if he gets a bowl, I could see him saying, I'm gonna take a month. I'll let y'all know.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And I can see him saying, looking at the finances, everything else, and weighing the options, be like, "Hey man, I can walk out this game a champion. I'm done." But with that being said, whether he's there or not, I think it's a possibility. But they got to go win a bowl. Hey, lot of games to be played on that.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask a question. Side note: does Peyton try to work his way out of there now after Drew walks away?
It's just too many young pieces, I think. Whether we're talking about the Kamaras, the Michael Thomases, you got young pieces on defense.
Sean Lattimore.
That was, defensive rookie last year. Hey, how about that guy Davenport you got this year?
Yep.
You got young pieces on offense. There's just too many young pieces. Now you got to find the key at the quarterback. Yeah, Sheldon Rankins is another one, third year in the league.
Monster.
So, too many young pieces for him to say, hey, I want to leave. Now, obviously the Swiss Army knife, the 2K slash and Taysom Hill. We don't think he's going to be the incumbent there, obviously.
Right.
Teddy B's the interesting point. They went and got the insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this year and he's done.
Yeah.
He's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean, since they need to make a call there, make a call quick. You know, I mean, the kid's 26. If Drew's going to play another year, okay, boom. You can say, all right, here's your starter at 28, and you got to sit 2 years behind Drew Brees. Not a bad look.
Yep.
Does Teddy Bridgewater want to sit for another year? That was the other question. Or does he want a chance to go out here and play somewhere? There's that as well.
I see Washington should go take a look at that. I mean, if they ain't looking at him, they should probably go look at A.J. McCarron. Familiarity and all that.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, and there might be a situation in Tampa that need a quarterback. There might be a situation in Miami that needs a quarterback.
Certainly, I mean,
so there's, there's definitely going to be situations.
The New York Giants.
Possibly, if Eli hangs it up, they want to incumbent and they draft somebody. Sure, I mean, there's options there. So, but they have to decide and have that conversation with.
Might be sniffing around for it.
Yeah, very much so. So I don't know now if they don't really have the capital to go do much in this draft, though.
Yeah.
So they don't have a lot of capital there.
Yeah.
If they don't bring back a Teddy B, then maybe they're in play for a Jameis Winston, possibly. But it's definitely something for them that has to be cleared up. Now Brees can give him some breathing room if he plays another year. If he doesn't play another year, now then it turns into, well, if Sean Payton wants to leave or not, and there's a position that has a said quarterback ready to rock and he ain't got to worry about it, maybe he thinks about it. But to speak to the capital of what the Saints have, they have a second round, a fifth, 2 6, 2 7s.
Yep.
That's that.
Yep.
So I'd like Teddy B there, but we'll see what Teddy B wants to do and what they can get done with him.
Yep.
On to the New York Football Giants. Eli Manning done played himself into another year, I think.
So the GM says. So the coach says. Too.
So the coach says.
Yeah.
Backups Alex Tenney, and of course
Kyle Lauletta. We know he can drive off the field.
Well, we definitely know he's a hit off the field for sure. 0 for 5 with the INT, but whatever. We're not really too concerned about that. Obviously, Tanny's not the answer. Could Kyle be the answer? Maybe. We don't know.
He needs to be starting these next 2 games if we're going to find that out.
You're going to find out. Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, Eli's signed up through 2019. So there's that. I don't think he's going to sit down. $17
million.
But hey,
cap space.
Hey, you got 11 picks. You're currently 8th.
Oh, I know. You
got the capital. You got the capital.
I know what we got.
If there's a guy, you can go get him.
Yeah. I mean, we may not need to make a move though at number 8. Depending
on how things fall out, but you know how it goes. Those teams that need them, whether
jump ahead of you,
whether it was the old Eagles going from what was it, 12th to 2, we've seen those jumps. So, those are in play. But if things stay in pat, maybe you don't have to. There's definitely some teams in front of you that drafted a quarterback last year.
Mahomes too. So
right. So. I'm intrigued. To be honest, looking at the Giants, make the move to go get the guy.
Yeah.
Keep Eli.
Maybe.
Go 8 games in. If you're not in contention, turn it over. That's what I like to see there.
Maybe so.
That's what I like to see.
I don't know.
Eli's played so good this last half of the season, in my opinion.
I could say this, right?
Okay.
I could say, you want to keep Eli? Go right ahead.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Go right ahead. While you're doing that, though, let's go on and start shoring up this line like how we need to. I mean, we got 11 picks, right?
Right. So, go get them.
So you go ahead and you go grab Jonah Williams out of Alabama, because Jonah can play just about every spot on the offensive line, and you can shift Sauter over to the right side, and Jonah can play left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can make a move for somebody else on the right side in the draft in the second round as well. And then, hey, look, we know how deep this defensive draft is. We've been hammering it for the last, 6, 7, 8 weeks, right? Like, you're going to get guys that perform like first rounders down in the third, fourth rounds. I said it before. I'll say it again. The whole offensive line for Alabama could start in the NFL today. All of those guys will not go in the first round. Not all of them. One or two might. Mm-hmm. There's at least one going.
Two, I think two's going to make it.
Two might make it, but
one for sure. But I think I'm buying two.
Yeah, but Deontay Thompson is going to hurt some people. Between Deontay, Ed Oliver, and Greedy Williams, they're going to throw this draft off just a little bit because of people needing them picks. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on how it shakes out for everybody else. But I mean, like, you could go ahead and fix the line, and then you go ahead and get you another corner. Go ahead and get you a linebacker to replace the one that just got concussed by Marcus Mariota over the weekend. And then,
you filthy.
And then, hey, look, I wanted us to get Minka. Again, my joke was, I wanted us to trade out of the pick last year, and I needed a new Sony TV, aka Sony Michelle, and a new Minka fur coat, aka Minka Fitzpatrick. Take him and find a safety like him, put him on the other side of Landon Collins, and now we got the secondary short up as well, at least the back end of it. So, I mean, there's guys out here, man. Like, dude, like, there's guys out here that you've talked about with other people that match up with the guys that I've got that I've talked about and match up with other people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or that match up with yours. So, like, for me, you can take them 11 picks and not get you a QB all you want, bro. Go ahead. Y'all want to hang out with Eli? Sure. Go ahead. He may not be mobile enough, may not be able to sit in the pocket too long to deliver the ball. And, you know, maybe we go 9-7 this year, right? Next year, right? And Eli hangs it up. But you know for sure, even if you got a mortgage to farm, that you're going to go draft it. And, you know, we know another cat, hate to say it, Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa, will be coming out along with other dudes. So, you know, you
I got
may
another
have a
name
shot
for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I got another name for you real
for
quick.
What?
For quarterback.
This year or 2020?
This year. And the other thing, too, is going to be this. And on top of those picks, so I'm not sure of those lines. And we got free agency. You can dip in there and do some things as well.
Don't you say Drew Lock.
No. Your coach has history with this guy.
Oh, go ahead.
Maybe Teddy B needs to be there in New York.
I said it.
Instead of you're behind Eli.
I said it, but I'm also of the cult of let's sign Teddy B for a 2-year deal, a 1-and-1.
Right.
1 year, one option, right? Team option, right?
Yeah.
And then you can wait until the next draft and then go get somebody.
So, I don't know. That'll be interesting to see. Now on to Pittsburgh. Where, I mean,
I don't like this. You know, as a football fan, I don't like this situation for Pittsburgh, bro. I really don't.
Well, I mean, Big Ben got in the greatest shape, and he's going to play forever now because they spent a third-round pick on Mason Rudolph. Mm-hmm. You know, Joshua Dobbs has been, you know, I mean, he showed some things in preseason and whatnot, the backups. They got a couple of backups there. I mean, to me, as far as Pittsburgh is currently constructed, you know, and they went and got Rudolph's number one target as well in James Washington, that same draft. I mean, I think the incumbent is there. Now, what we do know is, depending on how they finish this season, if they clear house, well, that's not their guy. So there's that. But as it pertains to Big Ben, kind of the same thing. He's an unrestricted free agent in 2020. How long does he want to play? I don't know. I mean, Obviously, I mean, super friendly deal for him. You know, $17 million this year, $17 million the following. So money's not really much of an issue as far as the cap goes. I don't know. I mean, Ben's talked about retiring the past 2-3 years, and then all of a sudden had a wild hair up his ass because they drafted Rudolph, and it could have been something to make us better, blah blah blah, whatever. Like I said, man, I don't know. I mean, it's Pittsburgh. To me, they're the most entertaining team in the league because whether it was Bell and the people talking noise in house, the offensive lineman about him being there to winning and tying, and oh my God, and then it's the win streak and everything's fine, and the world's falling apart, and we got people speeding on the freeway, and Bell tweeting, Peanut with the little eyeglass, and always come. I mean, they're just the most entertaining team, man. I mean, it's just, Ben's giving us sound bites of, it was a stupid route and whatever the case may be, and I feel like I can say that, and
every week. Every week,
man.
Every week, it's that damn MTV show, Pittsburgh Shore. Telling you, man, they all wilding out. Benny D,
VH1.
You got
Loving
Benny D
hip-hop
over
in
there.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you got Antonio the Situation Brown.
Right, no doubt.
These guys out here, man, every week, dramatic. So,
but I think,
I
was gonna say, but I think as far as them, if Ben's ready to hang it up, I think obviously for them. Mason Rudolph is the incumbent, and he's there, so that helps them some.
I kind of have a something to add there.
Shoot.
There's a couple different pathways to get out of that dungeon of Big Ben, and moving on to the next guy, right? Like we don't know. Look, this thing don't go the right way. Like, hey man, you ain't going deep in the playoffs. What goes on with that coach? Is the coach safe? I mean, even if you move on from Ben, right? Or Ben hangs it up, right? This ain't the Pittsburgh Steelers that was constructed when Ben started playing. We ain't got Jerome Bettis ain't running through that door no more. Okay. We ain't got, Willie
Parker.
Right. We ain't got Willie Parker and some of these other dudes, that been there through that time period. And heck, we ain't even talking about the defense yet. Right. But like, let's flesh it out. Right. Like, you ain't got, Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator there, you know what I mean? Dialing up all kind of, wizardry on the field for plays.
And hey, even when he was there, him and Ben supposedly were always
used to clash. So, but I mean, like now, right? Like now, you want to take a kid who's got potential, but you don't have a OC that can help him develop, and the head coach is a defensive style head coach, so he ain't gonna help him develop. So now what? And your running back situation ain't sorted. It ain't like, well, you got Le'Veon Bell in the pocket now. The kid can help. He can grow while he plays. Ben had that luxury. He had the bus.
Oh, very much so. I mean, hey, Ben won a Super Bowl where the wide receiver threw a touchdown pass and he didn't.
Right. So I mean, this is.
Shout out to Antoine Randall L.
That boy there. He's a good golfer now too, man. I follow him on social media, but
nice.
Yeah, but hey man, this is a different scenario. Like, this situation is not conducive to this kid developing into the next, great Steelers quarterback. You know what I mean? Like,
and he was a 3rd round pick as well.
Yeah,
obviously.
But I mean, like, he could be something, and like he doesn't have the tools in the cupboard to help him get there right now.
I mean, such is life.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think as it pertains to what would happen if Ben walked away.
Yeah.
I think Mason gets the call, and then they go from there. Yeah. And maybe they go get like a veteran backup, and then play it out through preseason, and then name a starter and go from there.
Maybe so.
Now, as far as an old head who is pretty much gone.
Yeah, we got some also mentions here, some also ran situations.
We talked about this early in the season, with Flacco and Jackson, and and I was saying, hey, if Jackson ever hits the field, That'll be it for Flacco.
You sure did.
And that's pretty much what has happened. Now, is it the prettiest thing? Is it a little old school? Absolutely. However, when you look at the numbers as it pertains to Flacco, you know, you can eat it. You know, this year would have been a $40 million hit. Can't do that. This offseason, though, $16 million where you got a guy on a rookie contract. Oh yes, you can most definitely do that.
And that looks like it's going to carry your bags out too.
Right. And that looks like that's what the situation is going to be. I mean, 4-1 now with Lamar as a starter. You know, Flacco, I mean, obviously, Super Bowl winning quarterback for them.
How many Super Bowls he won?
He got one.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of guys out there that wish they had one.
I dropped that extra graphic in there for you.
Yeah, he's made some pretty good money.
Because I know you like to talk about that, so I put that in there for you.
Yeah, I know. He's definitely made some. He definitely made some.
Go ahead and tell the folks how much money he's made so far in 11 seasons.
Oh, to the tune of
Powerball money.
$147.8 million. But you know, man, got hot at the right time, ran through the playoffs, and
playoffs.
I'm talking about the playoffs, and inked that deal, and
big
cashed
money.
it in. Yeah, cash it in.
That dude got 2 mansions, bruh.
Oh man, please! You got one. Joey Flacco got one in Delaware. He got one in Baltimore. Huh? What you talking about?
Hey, it's Joey freaking Flacco, buddy. Yeah.
You know, no one's going to cry for him. No. I said it before. I'll say it again. I like Flacco in Jacksonville next year, though. I just do. I do like that.
Yeah, I heard they like Eli over there too. Maybe we put them both on the same plane.
I don't.
Let's see who makes it out of training camp.
Eli ain't getting out of New York. Damn. He's a treasure now to the Giants. You already know.
He's a New York monument.
They're going to build a statue.
I bet they will.
Yeah. Now I think the biggest thing though,
when's that Romo statue coming out there in Dallas?
Nah, never stop it. He'll get one like Madden for announcing. That's where he's at now. He'll make it to the Hall of Fame as an announcer, as a contributor, not for playing. Stop.
Hey, side note.
Yeah.
How about Robo in his commentary during the Steelers Pats game, quasi coaching, quasi scolding the Brady. I was like, do it, Romo, do it to him.
Hey,
yeah, buddy.
That truth though.
Quarterback coach / OC. Bring him back
if he wants to be, but. Like I said, that money he making, got them babies at the crib, final let,
Bro, y'all ever get rid of Jason Garrett, dog? That's the first name coming up.
Man, it's already coming up.
I know, but I'm saying like that's gonna be on. That's gonna be on the Dallas news.
It's as simple as it is. If they won't fire Linehan, or Jason Garrett refuses to fire Linehan, Jason Garrett's ass has got to go too. Linehan is tragic.
Whose fault was it last week? That's what I need to know. Whose fault was it Sunday?
No, Sunday was. I mean, it was bad all around.
Whose fault was it?
I mean, it's bad. I mean, outside of Zeke and the tight ends, actually, for what they are, played pretty good. Zeke, the tight ends, and Jalen Smith actually, he had a couple, but Jalen Smith overall played pretty good.
Jalen Smith had like a bunch of tackles.
Yeah, Jalen Smith overall was pretty good, and Xavier Woods played really good. The rest of them, throw the whole team away. And I mean, again,
LVE too.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, he had some misses.
Yeah, I saw
he had
one.
some misses.
Yeah, Jalen had like 6 tackles in the first half.
Yeah. Jalen had a couple misses, but overall played pretty good. Jalen and Xavier on the defense, and Zeke and the tight ends on the offense, and the rest of them throw them away.
I just want to know whose fault it was, because I'd be hearing all of y'all talking and stuff.
But I mean, just
the coach or the OC or the.
But you know. I mean, I've beat the drum since last December for a year now to get rid of Scott Linehan. I just have, and it's just what it is.
Hey, bro, that you must need to get a louder drum because my boy's still there.
Hey, man, you saw it. We should all pray at night for, job security.
You're horrible. Let's roll.
Like Linehan.
Let's move on. Next situation.
But let me finish on the Baltimore situation though before you brought that in.
Sure.
The biggest thing for them is they're moving on from Flacco with Jackson being the starter. I really want them to keep RG3 as the backup. I think he's the perfect backup there. I definitely like that.
Well, I mean, the starter's looking like he's going to become RG3 if he keeps it up.
Well, he's getting hurt in the...
And what happens if there's a coaching change there? Now what are we doing? Because the offensive staff is gone.
Because then it's throw the whole baby away. Then
yeah. You might draft.
Or you go dial a Eric Bieniemy from KC and put him with the mobile quarterback and see what he can do. Just saying. Washington's probably the most terrible situation though. Yeah. Unfortunately. Obviously Josh Johnson trying to get him in there. Yep. Mark Sanchez, whatever. Get out of here. Sorry. Colt McCoy's. I mean, he's a backup now. He had it to. Let's see what he can do. He's just what he is. Yeah. Alex Smith.
We don't know what his situation is because he has a similar injury to Alex Smith. So
right, and Alex Smith. Obviously had some issues with some infection, but looks like that's cleared up. He got released. He's out. Does Alex want to come back and play? I don't know. Is he going to be able to come back and play? We don't know.
He got the rehab process to go through.
So we don't know. Shout out to a guy that we had on the hot seat starting the year in Jay Gruden though. I don't know if you want to shout out a coach who was on the hot seat for still probably being able to keep his job because of the amount of injuries he has. Well, it didn't fall apart. He's 7-7. He's better than a lot of damn teams.
Yeah, but man,
you got to 7-7.
That's not a shout out.
It has to be.
That's a light a candle for that situation right there, bro. Say some prayers.
Man, don't say that. People gonna come for you. Don't start saying prayers. Sorry. Yeah, man. I'm just saying. To get the 7 wins with what's going on. Before you started week 1, your top 2-3 running backs were out.
Yep.
Off the rip.
Yeah, and we don't know how that offense changes now with Darius Geis. Now that we don't have to run as much, and as well as AP has performed in spots for them this season, Darius Geis wasn't no joke in college, bro.
Yeah.
Darius Geis, I kind of compare him to Chubb, the same style, you know what I mean? So,
no doubt.
Yeah.
They got some ammo. They got a first, second, 2/3, 2/5.
Yep.
So
yeah, they got a lot.
They got some ammo. It'll be interesting to see. Definitely. I don't think Alex is going to make it. I hate to say that, but I don't think Alex is going to make it back
either, brother. I thought he would. Because, medicine's advanced.
Maybe, right.
What happened to Theismann after he got rocked like that.
But whenever you hear compound, breaking the skin.
And then infection while in the hospital still.
Yeah, and, you 34, 35.
Yeah, yeah, you just want to make sure you can still walk around and pick your kids up.
Right, and, and for him, his legs is a big part of his game.
Right.
And that's not going to be the same.
Right.
Ever again.
They got a lot.
Now we talked about we wanted a Winston to go sit down somewhere. Maybe this is a landing spot for Winston and he doesn't sit down. Oof. Possibility. Possibility. Maybe it's a spot for Teddy B to go.
Think Teddy B or AJ McCarron are good.
AJ McCarron might get it. Yeah, AJ McCarron might get a little slide here. Yeah. Maybe Washington talks about a Joey Flacco. Oof. I don't per se like Flacco there. I like him better in Jacksonville, but
I can see Flacco going home now. Honey, we don't have to move.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm just going over here to play with the Washington.
It's about 45 minutes away.
Yeah, 45 minutes. It's all good. So interesting stuff
I could
there.
Take the chopper from the mansion we have over here. We could.
Yeah, 147. I'm sure he's got the chopper laying around. Yeah. Not too surprised by that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's it for some of these older quarterbacks. Yeah, some good stuff there.
I wanted to talk about that because
it's getting there, man.
Well, we've mentioned in spots here, about
changing of
the guard, and then just you see some of the guys coming up, and even the game this weekend with the Texans and the Jets, Sam Darnold's going to be that guy if they make the moves and get him the help that he needs,
right?
And I like him. I didn't like him at first. And that was one of the QBs I know, you had talked to me too, over the summer, hey man, what about Darnold? You feeling him? And I was like, nah, because he had some busted games at USC too. You know what I mean? That was
some turnovers. Yeah,
he had some games, but look at him now. So Just needed to talk about that, man, because there's so many situations where, and not just the guys aging, right? Like there's so many organizational situations that come into play with some of these moves. So like we need to watch. I mean, like the Baltimore situation, how freaky is that, right? Like your coach is already on the hot seat. He's probably gone. All the massive injuries that you had over there on both sides of the team. And then, now your starting quarterback has been there for 11 years now, basically just got sunned by the rookie, and a number 32 pick at that.
Yeah. And of course the GM that took you's out too.
Right. So, I mean, like there's so much turnover and potential turnover. Like we had to talk about some of those things. So that's kind of why I brought it up. But, moving on to third down, though. We're going to talk about this playoff scenario real quick. Third down.
These playoff scenarios. So after the action this last week,
let's move quickly here.
Not a problem.
We're over 2 hours, buddy.
So currently, right now, we got the Chiefs and Texans with the bye in the AFC.
Yeah.
Currently, Ravens would be at Patriots, and we'd have Chargers at Steelers in the AFC. On the NFC side, Saints, Rams, Vikings going to Bears, Seahawks going to Cowboys. On the outside, looking in with a chance, though.
Yeah.
Colts, Titans. Hey, man. Dolphins, Browns.
Get in.
Hey, man. Dolphins, Browns. It was valiant. It was a great job, especially for the Browns getting the 6 wins.
Yeah.
I think y'all are done. I think this is a 3-team race at this point, Ravens, Colts, and Titans. I think the Colts are going to get in. And then the Ravens, it's just going to depend if the Steelers lose a game.
You think the Browns should keep their interim coach?
I think if you want to keep him as the DC, you're good.
Yeah.
I think that's where that's at. Although I will say this, though, with Freddie Kitchens and what's going on there, I mean, I think it can work.
Yeah.
I think it can work, but, this is what the players believe in what they like.
Some of them decisions in that Broncos game the other night.
But, here's what we know in Cleveland, that Mike McCarthy smells like it's a fit.
Smells like
Over on the NFC side, Panthers, thank you. We'll see you next year, probably with a new coaching staff. So it's down to the Eagles and Redskins, 7-7.
Hold the Redskins' hands as you take them with you, Carolina.
Yeah, probably so. And then of course the Vikings at 7-6-1. Now, see, the Seahawks had this locked up, but now at 8-6. I mean, hey, Seahawks, need to win a game and take care of that. Hey, Cowboys too. Let's not leave them off the hook. They're 8-6. You got 2 games left. It's very simple for you though. You win one, you clinch the East. You have the Bucks and you have the Giants. My advice to you is don't let it get to the Giants in New York. Don't do it. If you can win this game this week, you can give yourself a de facto bye. So you actually get a bye like everybody else that, finishes the 1 or 2 seeds before you start.
Yep.
Obviously, the Eagles and Redskins are going to cancel each other out because they play Week 17. Eagles, big hurdle this week. They got the Houston Texans. They got to get over that. But that boy, Big Nick, see if he keeps that rolling.
Big eggplant emoji, Nick.
Yeah, no doubt. And, of course, the other thing for me as I'm looking on the NFC side, Rams lose one more and the Bears win out. Goodbye, first round bye. Biggest thing for me on the AFC side is obviously Texans sliding into that number 2 slot now if they can win out. And then, of course, Chiefs, Chargers. Chiefs, don't lose a game and let the Chargers win out. You go from a bye to playing in the wild card round.
Yeah, and
the road.
The Texans, going back to them. Hey, man, they almost lost this game in New York. And I seen J.J. Watt on the sideline.
Tell him it was go time.
Oh, no. J.J. Watt was on that sideline giving people the business. And, I mean, spit all over him and everything. And didn't nobody move. It was like the principal came in there and up to the bench. And nobody moved while J.J. said what he had to say for them 2 minutes. So I hope he has another one in him because Texas can't take their foot off the brake, bro.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. You got to this number 2 seed, win out and take care of that. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
But, yeah, picture's getting clearer, man. Yeah. Like I said, the NFC side a little bit more murkier, especially when you got 3 teams, 2 8-6s, a 7-6-1, and then 2 7-7s. AFC's about done. I mean, I think realistically, it's really a 2-3 team race. But obviously Steelers could really fall out here if they lose the last two. I don't think they're going to. Colts, man, I'm gonna circle them.
Yeah,
they get in. Beware.
Yeah,
they're healthy at the right time. That offensive lines came around.
Darius
they're protecting
Leonard over there leading that D.
Yeah,
boy, he ain't
yeah.
playing.
I mean,
he ain't
tough.
playing. Yeah,
tough, man. Yeah, that cat there is tough.
Yeah. So
and now to fourth down.
Oh yeah,
fourth down. No Thursday games.
No.
It's
over. But we do have Saturday games. That
Saturday football. And, hey, off the top, I mean, hey, two of these, right? About to get some clear definition on some stuff.
Yeah.
Washington goes to Tennessee. And the juicy Baltimore at Chargers.
Yeah.
Baltimore, and obviously a must-win situation.
Yeah.
Chargers have already clinched a playoff spot, but they're still, battling for the number one seed.
Yeah, they clinched. Chiefs Chiefs haven't clinched.
Have clinched. But, yeah, Chargers got a lot to play for still.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got to say, I think this is where Washington's run ends. I just do. I mean, good. You went to Jacksonville. You got the win. With Josh. I'm excited to see that guy play. I mean, we've talked about it before. 12 teams. Yeah. Never really gotten the opportunity. Played pretty good ball against what we still would consider a decent defense. Maybe not the great defense we thought they were going to be.
Right.
Still a decent defense though. Yeah. Tennessee's rolling. They're on the sideline doing the Remember the Titans. We are, the little dance and shook and jive. Derrick Henry, they finally found who out Derrick Henry was and running him the rock. I think Tennessee gets the win here. Intriguing though. I'm glad these Saturday games got a lot. Like every team playing this week on this Saturday has, playoff implications tied to their games.
I can't remember it being this murky in a long time, man. Like it's been a while.
Hey, and not only is it this murky, I mean, hey, you want to hitch your horse to any wagon on any side?
No.
Like it's.
I mean, if you're a Minnesota fan, you trust that? I mean, if you're a Saints fan, you trust that?
Not after the last 3 weeks. I mean, the only thing you got is like, hey, we're in the dome. I'll tell you what, if I had to pick one team out of either side, if I could pick one team, I might pick the Bears.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think that's who I would hit you with.
Yeah, the Bears defense is like bone crusher. I ain't never scared. You know what I mean? Like them dudes come to play every week.
I think I've seen enough out of Mitch to think that he won't beat them, and I know what the running game can bring.
Yeah.
I just, I mean, hey, this is fluid though now.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to change this week to week.
Of course.
but if I had to hitch one right now, man,
I take the Bears.
I think I'd have to take the Bears, man. I mean,
I'd take the Bears.
Now let me see.
I probably take Chiefs Bears in the Super Bowl at this point. And I've come a far away from what NFC South, NFC West is going to represent.
Yeah.
Come a long way.
I think if Jesus.
Yeah.
AFC
Chargers.
I can't get away from Felipe right now. Now I can't.
Yeah.
And I'm watching what he's doing, but I mean, you get that pause because we've known what the Chargers have done in postseason before, but just Anthony Lynn, and I look at that coaching lineage and the Parcells and stuff that he's got in that background. I'm just like, it feels different over there. Used to an injury here, a kicker there, and that they would just fold, and it just is like, no,
Coach
we don't care.
We going for two right now.
I mean, it just feels different over there.
I felt like when I heard Phillip Rivers say that in the post game, I kind of like envisioned like the kicker was getting ready to come out and like Anthony Lynn just like pushing him in his chest, like, no, go on back over there and sit down, young man. We going for two. We won't be needing your services this evening.
No, not today.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I don't know, or not right now, but I mean, it's very fluid now. If I see the Saints return to the Saints against Pittsburgh in the Dome, all bets are off.
Yeah, I got to stick with my
That's what I'm
pick,
waiting
though,
to see
man.
there.
NFC South or NFC West, man. That's who does it for me. But the Bears are to be concerned with.
Right.
The Colts are to be concerned with. You can't sleep on the Chiefs still. And
no doubt.
And, you know.
But that's the beauty of it all, right? I mean, that's just the beauty of it because, I mean, we're hitching and kind of like, oh, man, here's who I'm liking right now. But, I mean, literally 1 through 6. And then we're even talking about like a team like the Colts that aren't quite in there yet.
Yeah.
And saying, man, any of these teams, we're talking about 7 different teams on the AFC side and 6 on the NFC side. And we're like, I mean, really? I mean, Nick Foles again? No way, right?
Yeah, that too. But I mean,
no way, right?
Look at the potential matchup, right? Lowest winning seed from the AFC wild card round. Hey, man, what if the Ravens sneak in and they win that first week? Now who they got to go face? And we know what happened the last time.
Right, man. It's like I said. I mean, yeah, definitely. I don't remember the last time. Like you're just sitting back and like, man. It is purely wide open on both sides. It's going to be exciting, man. This playoffs is going to be super exciting. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But
there's a ton going on here, and I like the way the Steelers defense is playing. You know, shout out to Joe Hayden, man. Like that dude could have folded up his career. You know what I mean? After he come out of Cleveland and went to Steelers, man. Like, dude,
got that bounce back in him.
Yeah. I mean, I like the way this defense is playing and they're rallying around each other. I mean, that could be the difference. I mean, again, Ben was trying to give it away. Defense said,
only giving up 10. And then, of course, you know, old Tommy boy, old St. Thomas, trying to throw them fadeaways.
Bro, did you see him? It's like he fainted. It was like he fainted when he let the ball go.
The crazy part was like, you know, on that last play and he was on the ground.
Yeah.
And like they had the camera on him. He was like, I think like just the look of, oh my God. I was like, man, again, I mean, I get it. It's one game. We could talk about things, but, you know, it's just certain things we've talked about, period, like balls in the dirt from him or high or low. And I've mentioned this before, and it's just, you know, it's not quite the same. And we talked about going into the bye, and I said, you know, coming out of the bye, I'm sure he'll look like a world beater again because he's got that rest or whatever, you know. And then the further away they get from that bye, he's going to go back and looking like how he was before the bye. They need to dial up. Look, if the Patriots want to fix what's going on with them, they better dial up James White like they were in the first half of this season and implementing him a ton and giving Tom Brady those nice 4 to 7 yard throws underneath and letting him go get another extra 10 to 15.
Hey, my guy. Maybe old Billy Belichick. Maybe he said, hey, y'all think y'all going to get me? No, I'm going to get you. I'm going to show you my theory. Hey, let's go on and let 12 win it for us. He's the GOAT, right? Hey, man. Got to show and prove now. Remember, you want to play till you were 45. We still got 4 more years left. Let's go on, GOAT. Go on out there.
Get in that weight room and drink some more of that secret drink in the cup.
Drink that avocado, eat that avocado yogurt or with ice cream. Yeah. Go on out there, GOAT.
I'm not messing with you with that.
Yeah. Hey, bro.
Hey, man, good cast, man. Episode 12. Oh, a little long. Man, there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, there is. But, I mean, you know, we don't need to go this long, man. We really This is a lot.
Let the people tell us.
Hey, they stay in my inbox, buddy. I don't know about you. They stay in my inbox. I'm like, geez, stop already. But anyhow, anything else? You got Knicks at 6 on Thursday?
I'm about to go a little early on that. We got we're delivering the donations over to the Truman Center for the kids. We got 103 sick kids that we got all the donations rounded up. We did the Santa thing this weekend, this past weekend, and we're delivering those. We're meeting and going over there about 6:30. So I'm about to shoot a little early on that this week. Go drop those off to the kids and get to meet the kids.
What you got going on tomorrow?
Work. Okay.
BJ Hanna.
Yeah, man. I got to hit the Oak Hill location and do some hit some moves.
You gonna close?
I don't know yet because we got somebody that's sick. They've been missing the last 2 days.
Right,
so find that out in the mornings.
Knicks and 6. Okay.
It'll be Thursday, just a little earlier than usual.
All right. Well,
we'll be able to go with the 60s.
Yeah, we'll definitely need to talk about the plan next week for the cast, too, because...
Oh, yeah. Got some of that Christmas stuff going on.
Next week, old Saint Nick will be coming to visit.
Kringle. Chris Kringle.
Chris Kringle.
Chris Kringle's coming around this piece.
Like you got a list.
Chris Kringles.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely talk about that. And then Friday preview show, what you trying to do for that?
Yeah.
Morning?
I mean... Yeah,
you gonna make
it? Schedule program.
Oh no, I might not make it.
Unless you want to do it nighttime, it's up to you, player.
No, I might not make it. No Friday night, bro.
Oh, I'm just asking you.
Ain't no Friday night, bro.
Oh, no Friday afternoon?
Nah, man, no Friday afternoon, bro.
Golly, Friday noon.
Dog, what'd I say?
I said noon. No, that's not afternoon. That's early noon.
Hey, look here. Friday preview show in the morning. If not, it's tentative. We got Knicks at 6 on Thursday. Thanks for coming out. God bless.
You going to sleep?
Try to hit the Def Jam on them. We thank y'all for coming out.
God bless and good night.
And good night. Hey, man. Deep in the huddle. We're out.